This is Ursula Hogan. Welcome you to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio, where we feature interviews which go into detail on some of the events in the news this week. The launch of Tomás McNamara's latest book, The Scariff Martyrs, took place last weekend. The launch was performed by Dublin historian Liz Gillis. As people gathered for the event at Scariff GA Park, Jim Collins met up with Liz for Scariff Bay Community Radio.
And I'm here at the launch with Liz Gillis. Liz, you're very welcome to Scariff.
Thanks a million for having me. It's my first time here and it's absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I know the streets from reading Tomás's book, so to actually be here in the town, in the area, it's absolutely amazing.
Yes, you're a historian yourself.
I am, yeah. Like Tomás, I've written about the Irish Revolutionary period with a focus on Dublin and Cork, and then the women.
Okay, and the women?
The women, yeah.
Yes, okay. So how you became...
Highs of 13 to 16 degrees. The showers will continue during Monday night, with clear spells also, lows of 6 to 10 degrees. Tuesday. Well, current indications suggest that a spell of rain will arrive on Wednesday and the temperatures will be in the mid-teens. And that's the forecast. The weather forecast on Scariff Bay Community Radio is brought to you by Paddy Punch Engineering of Scariff.
This is Ursula Hogan. Welcome you to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio, where we feature interviews which go into detail on some of the events in the news this week. The launch of Tomás McNamara's latest book, The Scariff Martyrs, took place last weekend. The launch was performed by Dublin historian Liz Gillis. As people gathered for the event...
Tuesday will see further heavy showers with sunny intervals, with a continued risk of thunderstorms, feeling fresh and cool in places with highs of 12 to 15 degrees. While current indications suggest that a spell of rain will arrive on Wednesday and the temperatures will be in the mid-teens. And that's the forecast. The weather forecast on Scariff Bay Community Radio is brought to you by Paddy Punch Engineering of Scariff.
This is Ursula Hogan. Welcome you to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio, where we feature interviews which go into detail on some of the events in the news this week. The launch of Tomás McNamara's latest book, The Scariff Martyrs, took place last weekend. The launch was performed by Dublin historian Liz Gillis. As people gathered for the event at Scariff GA Park, Jim Collins met up with Liz for Scariff Bay Community Radio.
And I'm here at the launch with Liz Gillis. Liz, you're very welcome to Scariff.
Thanks a million for having me. It's my first time here and it's absolute.
Community Radio is brought to you by Paddy Punch Engineering of Scariff.
This is Ursula Hogan. Welcome you to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio, where we feature...
Feeling fresh and cool in places with highs of 12 to 15 degrees. While current indications suggest that a spell of rain will arrive on Wednesday and the temperatures will be in the mid-teens. And that's the forecast. The weather forecast on Scariff Bay Community Radio is brought to you by Paddy Punch Engineering of Scariff.
This is Ursula Hogan. Welcome you to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio, where we feature interviews which go into detail on some of the events in the news this week. The launch of Tomás McNamara's latest book, The Scariff Martyrs, took place last weekend. The launch was performed by Dublin historian Liz Gillis. As people gathered for the event at Scariff GA Park, Jim Collins met up with Liz for Scariff Bay Community Radio.
And I'm here at the launch with Liz Gillis. Liz, you're very welcome to Scariff.
Thanks a million for having me. It's my first time here and it's absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I know the streets from reading Tomás's book, so to actually be here in the town, in the area, is absolutely amazing.
Yes, you're a historian yourself.
I am, yeah. Like Tomás, I've written about the Irish Revolutionary period with a focus on Dublin and Cork, and then the women.
Okay, and the women?
The women, yeah.
Yes, okay. So how you became interested? You obviously know Tomás.
Yeah, we met a couple of years back in 2019, but see, I had known of Tomás's work, he had known of my work. It's quite a small world, the history world, and I love Tomás's work. So we just made contact and met up in Dublin and just hit it off immediately. It was like compared notes, as in, he's telling me all about what happened in Clare, I'm telling him about all what happened in Dublin, but the thing that we have really in common is getting those local stories, because that's where you have the real gems. That's where the real history is, on the ground with the less well-known men and women.
And I suppose even though one is Dublin and the other is a rural part of East Clare, there's probably a lot in common.
Oh, they're all connected. And Tomás actually proves this and shows this with the book. I'm not going to give it away, but there are so many connections. Like, we all know that Ireland is a village anyway, but in terms of the Irish Revolution, it doesn't matter whether you're in Cork, Clare, Dublin, Belfast, you'll find those connections. All those strands are brought together and they all play a part in the story of the Irish Revolution.
Okay, and I suppose the reason for your hobby and your work is that the past is remembered, and I suppose you have a great view of the importance of that.
Oh, definitely. We need to know our past. We have to know our past, and we cannot forget the sacrifices that were made by those previous generations. And what I love about Tomás's work, and I would be similar as well, is that we're really interested in getting out those stories that haven't been heard in a long time or haven't been heard before. Because, as I said, that's where you find the real nuggets of history, because we all know the big stories, but you can't have the big stories without those little stories. They all feed into it, and it's just such a rich resource. There's so many stories still yet to be discovered, and Tomás is just shown, is a shining example of what you can do when you bring it down to the local level, and the value of oral history and how important oral history is in telling this story of our past, because you're getting the human side of it.
And I suppose sometimes there can be a conflict between, maybe at academic level, between the written history and where there are multiple sources, and then the oral history where you're talking to an older person who was talking to somebody 50 or 60 years ago and bringing you their story.
Yeah, and again, Tomás totally shows the huge importance of oral history, because oral history, the people kept those stories alive through the generations. There were records kept, official records. They have now been released thanks to military archives, and whereas it may have been said that you can dismiss oral history because it is not written down, the records that have been released are verifying the testimonies that were given by people orally all those years ago. So the two are coming together, and it cannot be dismissed. Oral history cannot be dismissed any longer. It is a viable source. It is an essential source to tell this story.
And I suppose it's the oral history that's passed on by word of mouth is what influences generations as they hear them.
Well, that's it. And the other value with oral history is if you're reading a document, you're not getting the sense of emotion or the sort of impact of certain events. They just don't come out of the page when it's an official document. With the oral history, and especially with like Tomás recording those interviews, every sigh, every pause, every breath that's actually enhancing the story. They may not, people give away more of the impact of an event that happened in their lifetime by the silences that they give in the interviews, and that's missed on a page. So by listening to those interviews, and the way Tomas, he has a gift that even where the pauses are, and you can actually feel what that person is feeling when they're recounting that story from 100 years ago.
Talking to one or two people, and I'll let you go then because I know you've an important job to do. Talking to one or two people around, let's say, whose family members were involved, in the IRA or whatever, many of them wouldn't talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And would you have found that in your work, that those who were involved, let's say, back in 1920, 21, they wouldn't talk about it themselves?
Yeah. And I suppose it's the trauma of what they went through, the loss, the sense of maybe wanting to just try and move on, not forget because they would remember themselves, but by not talking about it, it was a way of maybe helping to deal with such huge trauma. But then you have the likes of people like Tomas and other local historians who who saw the potential there, who knew there were stories there and that had to be documented or had to be recorded, and that he was willing to go and ask those people would they talk to him. They then trusted him, because this is the huge thing. You tell those stories about what was going to happen with that information. So you have to build up a relationship, and Tomas obviously did that. I can imagine him, as a young fella knocking on the doors, saying, please talk to me. I can imagine his enthusiasm. But they trusted him enough to tell those stories. Not that they would be used immediately, but in 20 or 30 years, that someday they might be released. Yeah. And that moment has come. Sadly, a lot of the people that Tomas would have interviewed are no longer with us, but thankfully he got them. Yeah, and they're part of this story now. So the revolution is obviously one part of the story, but remembrance is the other part of the story, how we remember. And this is what Tomas has captured in this book, both elements, the story of the revolution and the story of remembrance. And it's amazing, and thank God he was so enthusiastic when he was a young lad, and he saw the potential and he knocked on those doors and he got those stories down, because this is a legacy for the community. It's amazing.
Okay, well, I can see, Liz, why he asked you to launch it, because the enthusiasm just flies out of you. Listen, you have a big job to do in a few minutes, so many thanks for talking to us here on Scariff Bay Community Radio.
Thanks a million for having me. Thank you.
The first round of the Clare Senior Camogie Championships took place last weekend. Champions of 2 years ago, Scariff Ogonnelloe overcame Kilkishen Budike at Father McNamara Park, and afterwards Scariff Ogonnelloe manager David Sullivan spoke to our sports correspondent Pat McNamara.
David Sullivan, the jubilant manager, on his first victory in the Clare Senior Championship for Scariff Ogonnelloe.
And while David just fixing on his head there, David, first of all, congrats on a very comprehensive win against a solid team of Kilkishen Budike. You must be very pleased with the contribution of the mature players and also the very young players who's making their debuts.
We are. Look, I suppose when I first took over here, I never looked anything beyond this game, first round of a championship. I think I tried to drum into the players all along that you can get too far ahead in a campaign and forget to win the games you're meant to win. And we've worked very hard for this day. Since the county girls have come back at the start of August, we've really ramped up preparations. I'm dealing with a fantastic group of players. We've given so many numbers to the county all throughout the year, and it has given us a chance then to develop the likes of Danielle Beston there today, Lorraine Grady, Cliona McNamara, Rachel Daly and Goads. We've given us a proper opportunity to play all those girls in a senior league that maybe they mightn't have got the opportunity if we had a full squad available. And so I'm thoroughly delighted, but the thing is now we have to kind of switch to next week, and it's unrelenting. It's 3 weeks in a row row, so we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be hell for leather. And David, one thing we did seem to notice in the first half is that you weren't exactly passing the ball around for the fun of it in defence. We noticed that your half-back line midfielders were delivering great balls to the forwards in front to give the forward the advantage. The forwards are showing in front. We just thought that the fairly direct game you were playing suited the conditions.
Yeah, well, to be honest, the one thing I bred into these girls is direct. I trust these girls in my life. I'm not going to entertain sweepers or entertain being afraid of anybody in this championship. We're here to stand one-on-one with everybody in this championship, and I think some of us people are forgetting about us in terms of talking about maybe winning this competition, but we've seen today that we have a group of players who are capable of doing that, and we want to be direct and we want to run at teams, and we want to cause a lot of teams a lot of problems in this championship, and we're going to give it hell for leather.
It looks like you will, and a lot of teams can take notice of today's performance. You will be aware of the success of this team, I suppose, in recent years before you took over, and what are the qualities you've seen in all the sessions you've had with them and the league games, etc.? What are the qualities you most like in this team that you've seen since you took over?
Oh, just unbelievable hurlers, just very talented, very committed. Like, we were in Cravens last Sunday morning at 8 o'clock and had a full panel of players available, and that doesn't, you can go to many camogie clubs around Ireland but you won't get that response. I know I'm dealing with a very professional outfit full of fantastic players who are willing and dying to win a championship, and whether they're the youngest girl on the field, Danielle, today, or whether they're Bob or Mairead inside, every girl is hungry to win another senior championship, and I know what I'm dealing with is a very ambitious group of players who are willing to die for us, and we're willing to die for them on the sideline, so hopefully that success will follow from there.
So great spirit in the camp, obviously, and obviously the girls are enjoying their training, so it's your first foray really into this type of hurl, this type of camogie in Clare at this level, and who are the teams you'll be looking out for? Who will be up next, and what are the things you have to look out for the other sides that you'll be very aware of?
We're playing St. Joseph's Door Bearfield next week, and you could ask many different people, they'll probably say we should win that one handy, but that's not our approach, or that's not our mindset at all. We will treat them with as much respect as we treated Kilkishen Bodike today, and that's the way we have to do it every week, because if we take the eye off our ball once, you'll get beaten by teams, and no team is going to relax because you're not at your full tilt. Look, you're going to have your eye. As I was in Tubber last night, I seen Kilmaley and Newmarket play in this section as well, and it was a really high quality, intense game of camogie. So we know if we have to come out of this group, we have to come out of a group of 3 with 2 other semi-finalists from last year fighting for that second spot along with ourselves. So we know we're under no illusions that it's going to be a huge battle, but that's why we play camogie. Look, these girls were stuck in their sitting rooms with me in February doing strength and conditions through Zoom, and at that stage no one knew whether this was ever going to be possible, that we'd step out in the field with 2 or 3 or 500 people present in the month of August or September. So we're just delighted to be back, and we're delighted to get the win, and we're going to roll on to next week and try and build the momentum ahead of the rest of the games in the following weeks.
Well, David Solon of the Scariff management, thanks indeed for joining us. Well done, and a really impressive victory today. We wish you luck in the rest of the campaign, and from the way you're talking, I'd say the determination won't be lacking anyway. So it's the very best of luck, and thank you for joining us very much indeed.
We may be outsiders, but we're here to win with the rest of the girls, and thanks very much.
David, thanks very much.
You've been listening to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio. Join us again next week, and we'll keep you updated on local events. And this is Ursula Hogan for Scariff Bay Community Radio. Welcome back to the News Desk on Scariff Bay Community Radio, bringing you weekly updates of news and events from around East Clare, and a selection of music on Saturday the 25th of September 2021. It's great news that we in Scariff Bay Community Radio are back on the airways on 88.3 FM and 92.7 FM. We have been granted another 100-day licence from the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland, the BAI, and this will ensure that the station will continue to broadcast every weekend for the next 12 months. So with over 50 volunteers giving their time every week, we hope you are enjoying your local SBC or radio, and we will always welcome your support. Speaking of support, we are having a Churchgate collection this weekend before the Masses, or you can give a donation to any of the volunteers, or you can check clubfunder.com/clubs Scariff Bay Community Radio General Payment. Scariff Library is delighted to present Time Lapse by the artist Klaus Eckhard Kramer. After training as a journalist and photographer and pursuing an international career in public relations culminating in his work as media delegate in Formula One, Klaus took a step back from the hectic life in the fast lane and concentrated on image and text art, something he had never lost out of. Klaus started exhibiting his photographs nationally in Germany and soon was accepted at international shows. Since 2016, he's a regular at the prestigious annual art fair in Edingen. His pictures unerringly capture the viewer's gaze and inspire reflection. Klaus attaches great importance to colourfulness and extreme subtleties, which often appear in their details as if they have been painted with the finest brush. He's been exhibiting in Germany, Austria, France, Albania and now in Ireland. The exhibition is open during library hours, and you can contact the Scariff Library for more information on 061 922 893 or email scariff_library@clarecoco.ie. Clare Arts Office and Glór launch Dial a Shanachie. It's a unique audio experience celebrating Irish folklore, storytelling and song. Dial a Shanachie is a phone service that will allow members of the public to listen to curated Irish folklore stories and songs from 6 contemporary voices. The phone service will operate between the 1st of October and the 1st of November, and callers will be invited to choose from the list of short readings by well-known Irish artists and performers. The readings are a mix of story and song with themes universal to mythology the world over, like widows, witches, lost islands, sun gods, drunkards and devils. Deep reverberations from our past but still felt.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Future generations. Dial a Shanachie 2021 will feature new recordings from 6 acclaimed Irish artists who are invited to reinterpret existing Irish folklore tales for a contemporary audience. And featured artists are Lisa O'Neill, Andreas de Stack, Ruth Smith, Ian Lynch, Ciara Conway and Kevin Barry.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Test
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The Fecal Folk Club will host a number of live events in Pepper's Bar in the next number of weeks. And on Friday, the 8th of October, Pauline Scanlon, Nicola Joyce and Norina Kennedy will perform. Their tickets will cost €16.50 and can be purchased for Eventbrite at Pepper's Bar Fecal. Ogonnelloe National School Parents Association are holding a Cash for Clobber collection this Sunday, the 26th. Bags can be dropped into the shelter by the basketball court at any time on the day. This big fundraiser is for the school and your support would be appreciated. Mount Shannon Arts Festival with the theme of regeneration is taking place this weekend from the 24th to the 26th. All information is available on the website mountshannonarts.ie, and you can listen for the live broadcast from there by the Scariff Bay Community Radio team. Join Bernadette Murphy and friends for a casual walk Oscailga around Mount Shannon Village on Saturday to see the art trail. You can meet at the Wren at 2 p.m. This is a beautiful mural on the wall of the childcare centre beside the Inishcaltra National School. Also, there will be a pop-up Gaeltacht to celebrate the language within the community. They will meet in the smaller marquee down by the lake on Sunday the 26th from 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. So don't worry about your level of Irish, it's all about your love of the language. Derrygyle Adventure Centre will be offering kayaking and paddleboard taster sessions from Mount Shannon Harbour, as well as a sunset kayak excursion around Inishcaltra. Festival wristbands are required for the taster sessions, and Holy Island excursions cost €25 and will last approximately 90 minutes. So pre-booking is essential. You can call Derrygyle 087 125 4365. The search is on for candidates for the Clare Older People's Volunteer of the Year Award 2021. They are looking for applicants who give their time, energy and skills to help others in the local community. If you know someone whose name you want to put forward, you can email hmaloney@clarecoco.ie or visit the website clarecoco.ie/services community Clare Age Friendly County, and the applications must be submitted by the 1st of October. A ladies' boutique clearance sale in aid of Missionville, Ireland will take place on Saturday the 2nd of October at 10:30 a.m. in Ogonnelloe Exchange Community Hall. There's a range of new women's clothing from sizes 8 to 24 with smart, casual, day and evening wear and wedding outfits at greatly reduced prices. For the fashion conscious, some of the labels include Kate Copper, Badu, Personal Choice, Be Young and Sukrana. So come along and shop for all the bargains in Ogonnelloe Exchange Community Hall and stay for a cuppa in the Clare Care Connect Cafe too. Women's Aid are looking for people for their fundraiser to sign up to do 2,000 squats in October. You can do this challenge wherever and whenever suits you. You will be joining thousands of other women across Ireland bursting out squats to support the women and children who experience domestic violence. Check the website womensaid.ie or you can phone 1800 341 900 if you are in need of their services. Pieta House, Preventing Suicide and Self-Harm, are doing a fundraiser also, and they're looking for people to jog 31 miles in October to help their great cause. Sign up and they will send you a Pieta t-shirt to jog in. So check the website pieta.ie. Scariff Public Library will be providing a free smartphone classes for older people, so you can become familiar with installing apps, using Zoom and sending emails and learn how to use the library online resources. Classes are starting from the 27th of September and to book a place you need to phone 061 922 893. Lough National School Whitegate will be holding a clothes collection on Tuesday the 28th of September. All bags can be dropped into the school car park on the morning of the collection before 10:30 a.m. The usual items are accepted, but no toys, rugs, duvets or pillows, please. And your support will be very welcome. The Glenwood Ambush Memorial Committee is compiling a new book to remember the 100th anniversary of the Glenwood Ambush. The book will be launched in October at the memorial site. The new memorial to remember the safe houses will also be unveiled. If anyone has any relevant information or photos, please contact Patsy Neville or any other committee member. Feakle National School will be holding a Cash for Clobber clothes collection over the next couple of weeks. The bags can be dropped to the school shelter from the 27th of September and the collection will take place on Friday the 8th of October. The funds raised will help cover the costs of the various bills throughout the year. The school is grateful for all the support. Scariff Bay Community Radio's Irish language programme, Gaelga agus Fáilte, will be starting up again very soon.
Right, we'll just fade out Ursula there on the news. That will be repeated later on this evening. You're very welcome along to Father McNamara Park inside Ennis. The weather is still dry. Teams are out on the pitch and we're just going to play a little bit of background music for a few minutes and we shall be up and running then. And this man says, stop me if you've heard this one before. Right then, a little bit of music to welcome us along here to Father McNamara Park, and we have half of the A and a half team are sort of here today, and that the station manager Jim Collins is here and Leo Doyle is here. And, Leo, Pat was flying solo earlier on today and you're flying solo now and you have a new wingman, so tell us all about him.
Yeah, good afternoon Luke, thanks a million. Yeah, we're flying solo to look at all good things come to an end I suppose at some stage, but I'm joined today in co-commentary by former winning coach to the still Munster senior camogie champions, a man who's given great service to Scariff Ogonnelloe, both in the Camogie field and to Scariff on the hurling field. It's Pep Minogue, and he's going to join us here in commentary. We'll give you the St. Joseph's team first. There's much change from the programme. In goals is Karen McMahon, Sinead O'Connor, Megan O'Brien and Kate Dillon is the full back line. Ashling McMahon, Chloe Towie and Hannah Doyle is the half back line. Schaefer Niconnell and Ashley Reedy is in the middle of the field. Ola Maloney, Louise Woods and Wilman O'Connell is the half forward line, with Katie O'Callaghan, Amy Linehan and Ciara Duggan full forward line. And Pat, before we get on to Scariff, that's a very formidable St. Joseph's team. And first of all, Pat, you're very, very welcome.
Thanks, Leo. They're definitely going to play a running game with the way they're lining out, and I think they'll be running off the shoulder from start to finish unless their work rate will be huge. And I expect them to be very athletic and moving the whole time. To be a massive challenge, Pat. Yes, massive challenge. It's a totally different contrast to two styles, I'd say, is what we're facing here.
And of course this group has been blown wide open, Pat, by the result in the earlier game here today, and a big win for Kilkishen over Newmarket and Fergus.
Yeah, you see, when you have the first rounds on, you really don't know the form of any team, and you often can get results which would be totally different towards later stages of the championship. So we'll sit back and see what happens.
Yeah, and we're going to give you the Scariff team. In goals is Rachel Daly, Alison McGee, Susan Daly and Bonnie Wiley Murphy is the full back line. Leisha O'Donnell, Ciara Doyle and Rachel Minogue the half back line. Abby Walsh and Linda Daly in the middle of the field. Jennifer Daly, Amy Barrett and Lorraine O'Grady is the half forward line, with Elva Rogers, Ashton Corbett and Marie Scanlon making up the full forward line. And Pat, I suppose last week our Scariff had a good win over Kilkishen, but they're probably going to have to up Dante here to get over the line today.
I think Joseph's will bring a much higher intensity level for the first half an hour at least, and I think they are more mobile, I feel, than what Kilkishen the Mills were the last day. So we'll have to wait and see. A lot of those girls play football and they're pretty mobile, so
Yeah, we're looking forward to an interesting game. Kevin Walsh is the man in the middle here.
And the other thing is Kevin will, when players are breaking the tackle and running, Kevin is inclined to give frees for that sort of, teams tend to give away frees when people are running with them, and that could have an impact in the game now as well if Josephs really do get that running game going.
Yeah, and with that, Kevin Walsh is about to throw in the ball here. We have a new linesman here in front of us, Jason Malone, in taking over the flag. The game is on. We're in the middle of the field here, and St. Joseph's and Cal McMahon are defending the goals here at the Clooney Quinn's side of the pitch, and the ball is out in the middle of the field as Ashling Reedy is dropped down and comes out to Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh breaking the tackle here as she cuts through. Here comes Abby Walsh going into the St. Joseph's half back line, gone through, the ball is blocked down. He's going to come to Mairead Scanlon. Mairead was in top form last week, goes down with one hand, gets the ball away from Sinead O'Connor, a shot from Mairead Scanlon, and that's the first goal of the game. And Pat, that's exactly what Scariff are going to want, a good start and really bring this back into St. Joseph's.
Well, Abby left her marker for dead on the run. She ran away from her and scanned in, got that bit of space. So it's a good start from her because she's a confidence player and will have a huge help to her.
And the ball is out here. Ciara Doyle looks into back up here, gets the ball, hits the ball in towards the corner, in towards Elva Rogers. Good ball into the corner. Elva gets away from Kate Dillon. Scariff attack here, and here comes Elva going to take on her player, going to take on Kate Dillon. Release the ball out to Jennifer Daly. Jennifer Daly tips this ball in, blocked by Karen McMahon. Karen, who's declared junior goalie, who was beaten in the All-Ireland final. Elva Rogers trying to break through, gets it, is going to be blocked down. Out comes Chloe Towie hits the ball out towards us, or it is Kate Dillon, out to the sanctuary at the sideline. Line ball for Scariff Gunlow. Absolutely perfect conditions here for Camogie. Not a puff of breeze here with us, and a line ball going to be taken by Amy Barrett, and Amy Barrett now in a new centre forward position for us, but such is the calibre of the skill and holding of Amy Barrett that she could play in almost any position. Right over here, 21 yards out from the goals, cuts a good low ball across in. Who's going to hit the ball is going to come to Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh trying to get ahead there of Hannah Doyle, but as Doyle clears this ball out, gets the ball out towards the wing. The wing comes out towards Ola Maloney. Maloney tries to get away from Rachel Minogue. Rachel Minogue with a great game at wing back last week, a very versatile player. Here comes Maloney, puts this ball down along the ground towards and now comes out this Susan Daly. It was Ciara Duggan Tiger. Susan Daly gets the ball out to Ciara Dial. Ciara Dial will be slow getting on the ball, goes on down on the knees, gets the ball out to Linda Daly. Here comes Linda Daly. Had a nervous, covered a lot of ground last week. Tips this ball in towards Scanlon. Scanlon comes out with one hand on the ball. Great pick up by Murray Scanlon. Murray Scanlon bearing down and goes. Going to shoot off her right hand side. A shot and goes. Shot has gone into the back of the net off the stick of Elva Rogers. And goal poacher supreme, Pat. You done it last week with a break from Edel Mac. The goalie was hesitant, but Elva was alive to the situation. Scariff 1-1.
From the initial stages, you would say that our full forward line have the pace on the Joseph's full back line, and Elva was very, very sharp there. That's 2 balls, now she has 1.
And the ball rocks out, found the puck out from Carl McMahon, comes to Leisha O'Donnell gets the ball, it comes out to the middle of the field. Louise Woods tries to get it there. The ball is hot around the middle of the field. It's come by Amy Barrett. Amy Barrett is pulled back and a free. I'm not sure what way Kevin. No, he's going throwing in the ball to 6 1/2 dozen of the other. Linda Daly goes in for the throw in here. We're right in the middle of the park. Ball comes out towards Abby Walsh. Linda Daly tries to get over this with one hand. Amy Barrett trying to get up. Rachel Minogue gets it up and it comes out to Linda Daly. Linda Daly for Scariff Gunlow. In this group already today, Kilkishen, but were defeated by Scariff Gunlow last week, and the ball comes off the stick of Murray out over the line. But Kilkishen, but had a great win over last year's beaten finalist, the American Fergus, to really blow this group wide open again. So it's a line ball going to be taken by Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor right over on the far side of the field in a wing back position for St. Joseph's. Kevin putting back the players. It's 3.5 minutes gone. It's 1-1 for Scariff Gunlow. The sun is out here in Father McNamara Park, and this ball goes down along the line. Here comes St. Joseph. Bonnie Wiley Murphy trying to get the ball away for Scariff Gunlow, but it is Susan Daly. Rachel Minogue. Minogue clears that ball. Great ball, direct play from Minogue down towards Abby Walsh. Abby out towards Amy Barrett. Amy Barrett gives it to Scanlon. Scanlon cutting in. She's blocked down and gets a working hard trying to get the rebound. The ball comes out. Amy Barrett trying to get away, but it's the centre back. It's Towie who gets it away for Joseph. Gets the ball out to Schaefer Niconnell. Schaefer Niconnell takes off, leaves into Daly in her wake. Here comes Schaefer Niconnell going down the middle. Schaefer Niconnell going taking the shot, and a pull back there by Ciara Dial on the. And a kind of a rash challenge by Ciara Dial and putting herself under pressure, incurring the wrath of the referee Kevin Walsh. But this is what St. Joseph's are, Pat. They're running show.
Well, all our players got pulled up the field with Mairead, and there's space left in the middle of the field, and that's how they got the runners going. So that's their game, is they'll run it through and draw the frees.
And a free going to be taken by Aisling McMahon for St. Joseph's. Is 1-1 for Scariff Gunlow. St. Joseph's no score, 4.5 minutes gone. Here comes Aisling McMahon just outside the D here in an absolutely, as we said, a perfect day. The sun is shining here in Father McNamara Park. Here comes Aisling McMahon. Strikes this one, is a tail net. Indeed, there is a tail net. It's gone to the left hand side and gone wide. The score remains 1-1 to no score. Let off for Scariff, Pat. Scariff Gunlow.
Yeah, Marama, she's a good free taker, or she has been in the past. You'd have expected her to score that.
And the poke out to Ciara Dial from Rachel Daly. Ciara Dial gets away. Here comes, drives this ball, gets the ball down out towards Abby Walsh, but is the centre back is Towie, who comes out there for St. Joseph's, playing well in these early stages. That centre back goes back into the middle, going to look for her midfield partner of Aisling Reedy. Here comes Reedy, and as Pat said, St. Joseph's playing this running game. Good low ball in towards the full forward, in towards Ciara Duggan, but he's going to be cut out by Alison McGee for Scariff Gunlow. Gets this ball out to Susan Daly. Well, Alison McGee was pulled back there. Alison, normally you'd have the 2 McGees in the full back line, but one of those of those deadly duo is out in Amsterdam on Erasmus, so we're just left with one McGee. She's a lost bet.
She's possibly the biggest. There's a number of girls missed from last year, and she's possibly the biggest loss because it's a position that's not easily filled. A bit of experience and a bit of know-how, so I would nearly think she's the biggest loss to the team this year.
Yeah, I have to concur with that, and that line, that free from Rachel Daly makes it all the way over to the far side line, but it comes off the hand of St. Joseph's player. Line ball for Scariff Gunlow, 50 metres out from the St. Joseph's goal. The sun in the eyes of Carl McMahon. Amy Barrett takes this one, hits it down along the line towards Abby Walsh, but the ball is picked up there by Sinead O'Connor, and is a free out for St. Joseph's. And St. Joseph's, Pet, they're growing into this game.
Yeah, they're beginning to get the running game going. When they get possession, they're running and they're looking for somebody coming off the shoulder.
And it's a free going to be taken by Chloe Towie. Very central player for us. Jones gets this ball down, looking for out towards the corner. He's going to come for Ola Maloney or Amy Linehan, but the ball comes out. It's Susan Daly comes out for Scariff Gunlow. She's pulled back there, but what a player, Susan Daly, a brilliant full back, Pat.
Look at she's unbelievable pace, and she just gets to the break every time. I mean, she won a ball there where there was really two Joseph's players. She read the break and she beat the two of them.
The ball from Susan Daly goes down the top towards Amy Barrett, going to break down towards Abby Walsh, or out towards Lorraine O'Grady. He gets the ball back, he flicks it back to Linda Daly. Here comes Linda with time on her side, gets the ball, pops this ball into Aisling Corbett. Aisling trying to get down, Aisling who's been promoted to the forward this year, gets a good ball across, looking for Lorraine O'Grady. Inside in a corner forward position, she's been held up, trying to make her way back out, and Scariff are going to overdoing it, and the ball is clear by Chloe Towie. Gets the ball out towards Orla Maloney. Orla Maloney tries to get away from Rachel Minogue. Not an easy job to do. Gets the ball. Here comes Maloney doing for this running game. Kicks this ball in towards the corner. Into the corner towards Vanessa Meany. Meany gets this ball up for St. Joseph's. Coming across. Being chased by Bonnie Wiley Murphy. And here comes Meany. A shot from Meany. This ball has gone in, but it's gone tailed it. But Pat, St. Joseph's doing a lot of good things, but the finish not marking their set up.
It's their striking so far isn't maybe up to the Scariff striking, but they're definitely nearly more athletic.
And this ball is out with Muirna O'Connell. Gets the ball back out to Aisling McMahon. Aisling, who had a shot. This ball goes in. He's gone in towards Susan Daly. The centre back comes out, or the full back comes out for Scariff Gunlow. Charges into the St. Joseph's player Ciara Duggan. Well spotted by the eagle-eyed Kevin Walsh. Free in for St. Joseph's, just on the 21 metre line. Here, 8 minutes gone here in this first half. Is 1-1 for Scariff Gunlow. St. Joseph's yet to get on the board, but I would imagine that Ciara Duggan is going to arrest that side at this moment, Pat.
Yeah, maybe Joseph's getting a little bit of time in the middle of the field. Oh, it's a bad wide.
It's gone out to the right hand side and gone wide, and there's two missed frees from two normally good free takers. So it's a let off for Scariff Gunlow. 1-1 still for Scariff Gunlow. St. Joseph's yet to get on the board, and the puck out from Daly gets a good long one down, going to break towards Amy Barrett. Barrett does well, puts the ball in over the top towards Lorraine O'Grady. Lorraine O'Grady is beaten by Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor trying to get out for St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's, would be a dual club, one back by Lorraine O'Grady. Amy Barrett trying to get on there for Scariff Gunlow. We're on the 21. The ball is with Aisling Corbett. Corbett flicks the ball off to Elva Rogers. A shot from Elva Rogers. That's a dangerous ball for the goalkeeper, who does well with the sun on her eyes. Good ball, good Mary Scanlon. Good cornerback play by the captain, Kate Dillon, who gets the ball out, but it comes to Elva Rogers. Elva now out playing as wing forward, gets the ball out to Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh is tremendous player, going through the middle. A shot from Abby Walsh. Good score over the bar. Pat, she's a tremendous asset to the team. Has always showed her potential underage, but really has become quite comfortable in the senior ranks.
Her first touch and pace. First touch, every time she gives it up.
Scariff Gunlow 1-2. St. Joseph no score. We're just gone 9.5 minutes, and Karen McMahon with the puck out. The sun blinding her down in there. A good puck out from McMahon, leaves it out, blocked down by Rachel Minogue. Rachel Minogue comes to Abby Walsh again. Abby was at one end of the field the last time. Ball comes out to Ciara Dyle, the centre back, but there's a pull there by I'd say Linda Daly, a foul back there on St. Joseph's. It looks like it's the number 12 is Louise Woods has been picked up there, but as you know, the breeze kind of beginning to blow a small bit here. It is favouring Scariff Gunlow in this first half, and Aisling McMahon. St. Joseph's at the score, 10 minutes gone. Can she arrest that slide for St. Joseph's? She is guilty of a missed chance, as was Ciara Duggan, but look at quality players always come to the fore, and here comes Aisling McMahon, but 45 metres out from the Scariff Gunlow goal. This will drop right in around the danger area. McMahon strikes it. This is a dangerous ball. A ball is gone in over the top. He's blocked down inside by Susan Daly. Susan Daly on the cornerback. It's Ciara Dyle, the centre back, coming out for Scariff Gunlow. Pops this ball off to Susan Daly. Susan Daly is capsized there by a double challenge. So good defensive play by Scariff Gunlow, but wouldn't want to be letting too many balls going in like that, Pat. Good quick play from Susan Daly. Out to Jennifer, a wing forward position, trying to get over the ball, but she's being chased back by Muirna O'Connell. St. Joseph's working very, very hard. Amy Barrett tries to get the ball up for Scariff Gunlow, takes the ball into the challenge. Jennifer Daly trying to get it up. We're right here in a wing forward position. Amy trying to get it up, but it's going to be picked away by Aisling Reedy. Here comes Reedy for the ball goes in towards Leisha O'Donnell. Leisha O'Donnell leaves it for Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh gets the ball out to Amy Barrett. Amy will not mess around with it. Good direct play from Walsh. Goes in on top of the fullback, Megan O'Brien. Mairead Scanlon going in there. Can she? Mairead robs Megan O'Brien on this occasion. Where's the forwards? Here comes Mairead. Mairead gets the ball, gets a good lovely low ball out to Linda Daly. Linda's touch not the best at the beginning, lets the ball go away, and she's robbed by Chloe Towie. Amy Barrett comes in to arrest the situation for Scariff Gunlow. We're right on the edge of the D. Linda Daly trying to pick it up for Scariff Gunlow, trying to roll lift it, maybe not the ideal thing to do. When it comes to Abby Walsh, gets the ball out to Scanlon. Here comes Scanlon breaking through for Scariff Gunlow. A shot. Oh, what a block down there by Kate Dillon. Karen McMahon is going to try to pull it. We're on the edge of the square here. Megan O'Brien trying to get it out. Albert Rogers trying to pick it up. This is going to be a game changer against Kate Dillon, the St. Joseph's captain. He's fouled by Mairead Scanlon. Let off for St. Joseph's. That would probably should have been punished.
Yeah, but the noticeable thing of the last two, that play and the play bit just before that, when the Scariff Gunlock girl was fighting with the ball, they had 3 against 2 every time. Joseph had the extra player coming in. Now, he had weekly won the possession and used it with the spare person gone clear. And that time Bob was standing in front of the goals, no one near her. And if the ball had gone across to the certain goal.
Yeah, and with that, it's a free out just outside the square, going to be taken by Ashling McMahon. Ashling taking frees at both sides of the field. Here comes this Ashling, drives it, gets a good low ball up along the wing, going to break down by Jennifer Daly, out to Amy Barrett. Barrett just delivers the ball across, looking for Lorraine O'Grady. Lorraine O'Grady and Sinead O'Connor going around the far side. O'Connor is a strong player. O'Grady is a busy wing forward. But the ball comes into O'Connor, does well, gets away from the challenge of Ashling Corbett, puts the ball out into the middle. Linda Daly goes up with one hand, gets the ball down towards Amy Barrett. Barrett does well, the centre forward. Here comes Amy Barrett breaking through for Scariff Gunlow. Lovely pop pass. There's a chance here for Jennifer Daly. Gaharan Dresnan. Good combination play from Scariff Gunlow. Scariff Gunlow 1-3. St. Joe's no score, Pat.
When we move the ball, our striking is much better than them, and that's
the difference between the side differentiated on the phone around Tom Shin and the Pocamock Karen McMahon as St. Joseph's. Here she gets good lint into the breeze, gets the ball, going to be broken down by Rachel Minogue and Kira Dye going up for the one ball. There should have been a call there. The ball comes to Ashling Reedy getting a lovely low ball. It's going to be cut out by Bonnie Wiley, goes inside where Susan Daly comes out from full back, going to gets the ball out to Leisha O'Donnell. Not the greatest clearance, going to be intercepted by Myrna O'Connor, but Leisha working very hard to try to get this ball up for Scariff Gunlow. We're right on just outside the edge of the D. 13 minutes gone here in this first half of this broadcast brought to you in association with Derek Credit Union and our outside broadcast sponsored by Michael Long Construction. Scariff Gunlow 1-3. St. Joseph's is yet to score, but that ball pulled on by Kira. Gets the ball out towards Linda Daly, and here comes St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's with Louise Woods gets the ball across towards Ashling Reedy being chased down by Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh does well for Scariff Gunlow. Linda Daly in to help the work rate. They have to and a push in the back there by Linda Daly. That's the second or third push in the back she's been guilty of, Pat.
Yeah, well, see, we didn't move the ball fast enough there, and we let them crowd in again. That's the game they play. They're very fit, and there's 3 or 4 of them chasing every ball. But the biggest problem on St. Joseph's puckouts is our half-back line are too far forward. The ball has been dropping in behind them, and they've been able to get the runner going on the last 3 puckouts.
Yeah, and with that, Linda Daly gets a category. I'd say it's for persistent fouling more than anything. And Ashling McMahon, 45 metres out, about 20 metres in from the far sideline here in Father McNamara Park, hitting towards the road goals. St. Joseph's in their maroon jersey, Scariff Gunlow in their traditional light blue jerseys. And here comes Ashling McMahon. Can she open the St. Joseph's account here as we come towards the water break? She strikes this one rather well. And indeed, that is the first score of the game for St. Joseph's. It gets a good cheer from the St. Joseph's supporters. 1-3 for Scariff Gunlow. 1 point. Scariff Gunlow can be flattered by that lead, Pat.
What's Kevin blown for now?
Kevin is blown. I'm not too sure. Did Rachel come out too far? Or is it to wait for Kevin to get back out to the middle of the field? Kevin not moving as fluent as he did in latter years. A great servant to GA, Pat.
Yeah, he's a great servant, but he's pulling that Noel Quinn wouldn't have been pulling for last week. It's a difference. There's no doubt. There is a difference. The teams have to adapt to the referee, and maybe we haven't adapted. We've given away. They should have scored 4 points from frees already, and they've only got 1.
That's right, and that puck out comes from Rachel Daly. Good lint into that one, goes over to the far side of the field, uncontested, but the ball breaks out to Elva. Here comes Elva Rogers. Elva gets a good ball, well caught there by Amy Barrett. Amy opening up the play for Mairead Scanlon, gets out ahead of Kate Dillon. Good play by Amy Barrett, the giant captain. Mairead Scanlon going to take on Kate Dillon. Here comes Mairead, cuts in off her left hand side, a shot for Mairead Scanlon. And we'll see what umpires, indeed, is over the bar. What's gone wide on this occasion. Mairead guilty. And there comes the first water break. And we're now going to be joined by Brian Enright, who's the manager of the Newmarket team. Brian taking a keen interest in this game. Brian, who's the Newmarket team, were defeated by Kilkishen, but like today already have a victory against Kilmaley from last week. Brian, you're very, very welcome, Scariff.
Thanks, Leo.
Your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, very bright start for Scariff Gunlow. Mairead Scanlon and Alva Rogers look very strong. but Joseph's, you know, they came into it, they settled. They're quite a tall, strong physical team. They had a couple of what looks like costly misfrees that may have settled them into the game a bit quicker, but they're not without a chance here. It's a good game. Breeze is behind Scariff. They're looking good. Susan Daly at fullback is a rock so far at the moment. She's really outstanding. Really, the spine of that Scariff team is very strong. Ciara Dial, centre back, has dealt with everything that has come her way at the moment. But the Joseph midfield, I feel, is strong. And they're giving as good as they're getting, really.
And I suppose Pat or Brian, even at this stage, I said to Pat there a moment ago, the scoreline at this stage, flatters Scariff for Gunlow. There definitely isn't a 5-point deficit between those teams.
I don't think so, no. The Josephs just need to settle into it now a little bit more. Now that said, Scariff look sharp. You know, Mairead Scanlon does look sharp when they do get the ball, but and their scores have probably come a little bit easier. But no, the scoreline is deceptive at the moment.
Yeah, Brian, we'll talk to you again at half time. Thanks for that. And the game is going to restart with a puck out coming from Karen McMahon. So after just as we start the second quarter here in Father McNamara Park at Puckamock, let Karen McMahon. It's 1-3 to 1 point in favour of Scariff Gunlow. That goal from Elva Rogers, the difference between the sides. The puck out from Karen goes out. Amy Barrett puts up her hand and gets a great catch at centre forward. Out around the middle field, gets a great ball into the corner. It's going for Aisling Corbett. Aisling Corbett being chased by, good pick up by Aisling Corbett. Gets the ball back out to Elva Rogers, the goal scorer. Elva coming in towards the side, cuts in. This is a dangerous ball. They're all gone up for it again. Oh, the ball broke for Lorraine O'Grady. Lorraine O'Grady inside, lighting into Tinton, edge of the square. She gets away from Megan O'Brien. Here comes O'Grady. She's pulled back. A shot. Oh, and that's flashed out by the post. Out and left to the left hand side. Let off there for St. Joseph's, Pat.
Yeah, but she should have got a free. Her hand was pulled back and her hurley was pulled back. Kevin was pulled for her.
There's the advantage rule, Pat. You know, you miss it and it wasn't pulled back.
It wasn't pulled back. She should have got a free there.
Yeah, but definitely. And as Pat said, you have to, the referees, different interpretation of the referees, and you have to have Kevin probably would be more of the old school as we type. But look, a let off there for St. Joseph's and a puck coming out here for Karen McMahon. Karen goes out this side of the field, out towards the roadside here. Ball brought down by Aisling McMahon. Kind of a high pull there, got away with it on that occasion. It comes to Schaefer O'Connell. Schaefer O'Connell gets their running game going, gets that ball in towards the middle where it is going to be cut out by Alison McGee. McGee gets the ball out, a kind of a straight hand out towards Ciara Duggan. Ciara Duggan gets the ball out, and here comes St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's, Louise Woods. A shot from Louise Woods. Oh, and I tell you, it was a let off for Scariff Gunlow one side. Pat, that was a big let off for Scariff Gunlow.
Yeah, but Leo, do you notice something now? A couple of times we've tried to play the sharp ball out of the full back line and they've got turned over. And we got turned over there again. Yeah,
and I suppose if you dice with it, you're going to get caught sooner or later. Yeah. The good puck out from Daly. Great pick up by Barrett at centre forward. Barrett playing well. Gets away from Chloe Towie. Barrett going through for Scariff Gunlow. She gets the ball off to Aisling Corbett. Aisling Corbett, a shot. Oh, and it came a good save by Karen McMahon, the goalkeeper, out for a 45. Should have been put away, Pat.
Yeah, that's what you could say. That's 2 goals missed at least.
And goal chances coming in plenty here. It's like if we said the London buses, you're waiting for one and next thing they all come with a shot.
I mean, the bottom line is Joseph should have scored 1-3-1-4 at this stage.
Yeah, indeed, and St. Joseph's wouldn't be flattered if they were in a hit in this game at the moment. A free for Mairead Scanlon, a 45 from that brilliant save by the goalkeeper Karen McMahon. Can she extend the Scariff lead? It's 1-3 to 2 points as Mairead takes it. She Nancy strikes this one, such as a maximum and supreme. Mairead puts it, go hard and dressed on. It's 1 goal and 4 for Scariff Gunlow, 2 points for St. Joseph's, and here's Karen McMahon, definitely the busier of the 2 goalies. The sun in her eyes, whatever slight breeze is in favour of Scariff Gunlow here in the Caitla. Good puck out from McMahon, gets it up the field. Scariff Gunlow caught by Leisha O'Donnell. They send the wing back, gets a good low ball, opens up the play there, looking for Elva Rogers and Hannah Dial. Rogers leaves it for Barrett doing very well for Scariff Gunlow, pops the ball off to Linda, back to Elva. Pat, that's good combination play, started here with Leisha O'Donnell.
Decisive. If it pass the movement simple, other times they're overplaying him, but that was decisive.
And the pass went quick and direct. That was it. 1 goal and 5 for Scariff Gunlow, 2 points for St. Joseph's. And you often find, Pat, are you a fan of these water breaks?
Not sure if I was playing myself, I'd like him. So
that answers that question. Good puck out from Karen McMahon, out to Aisling McMahon, and a good ball in over the top towards Abby, well cut out there by Abby Walsh, and Leisha doing well, tries to get it out back towards Linda Daly. We're back in the half back line here. The ball, Abby Walsh trying to get it up there. we're now O'Connell trying to get up for St. Joseph. We're out here right in a wing back position here, just in front of our commentary position here. The ball breaks out and it's cut out by Walsh. Walsh does well, and a foul. I think it's for the foul hand pass. Yeah, I think Kevin quite correct on that occasion, Pat. Abby was trying to get the ball away quick, a bit too quick, and was pulled up.
Once again, Johnson's had big numbers in
for the breakdown
ball. Yeah.
This ball from McMahon, this is a dangerous one. This is going to drop right down the top. Susan Daly puts up the Rachel Minogue puts up the hurley. Susan trying to pick it up with one hand. The ball is on the edge of the square and it's going to be hit out by Ciara Dyle, the centre back. Here comes Ciara Dyle breaking out for Scariff Ogunlo. Gets a good ball out to Bonnie Wiley Murphy. Bonnie Wiley Murphy puts the ball out to Abby Walsh. Good combination play from Scariff Ogunlo. Gets the ball out. The ball comes out in the middle field. Abby Walsh does very well. Amy Barrett going to pick it up, but she's robbed. But Amy wins the ball back ahead of Schaefer O'Connell. Here comes Amy setting up a lot of play. Gets a good ball in over the top where Karen McMahon advances in the goals, and I tell you, no messing with Karen, just hits that ball back out towards the foul for the safety of the sideline. Amy Barrett for Scariff Ogunlo, being chased out there by Sinead O'Connor. Amy turns off for left. Good play by Elva Rogers. Elva playing at wing forward now, gets a good cross-field ball in towards Scanlon. Oh, great catch on Scanlon, but the ball comes out Linda O'Grady, but it comes to Sinead O'Connor. It's 1 goal and 5 to 2 points, and St. Joseph very much in this game. Here comes Sinead O'Connor coming back into her own half back line, gets the ball out here out to the wing, out towards Louise Woods, the centre forward. Louise Woods gets the ball in, going to be blocked down. Great blocked down by Rachel Minogue, but the ball comes to Chloe Maloney, or to Orla Maloney. Orla Maloney, we're right on about 40 metres out from the Scariff Ogunlo goal. They're gone to ground, and Pat once again, it's like rugby. St. Joseph's getting numbers into the breakdown very fast.
But when Rachel went down that ball, she went to roll it, finished and getting straight down over and taking it up. Because that second that went to roll it gave them a chance to get in.
Yeah, and you can't give these St. Joseph ladies any time at all as they're in very quick into the challenge. Kevin Walsh issuing the instructions for the players to get back. 23.5 minutes, 21 minutes gone here in this first half. The ball breaks down. Rachel Minogue has gone to ground. Should maybe got pushed in the back there, but who has it? Is it St. Joseph's have it? There was a good battle there, and the ball who comes out? It is Leisha O'Donnell. O'Donnell does well, and with her striking, maybe not the best in this occasion, but she's there again. Good play by O'Donnell, and gets a good ball out to her, and the ball comes in over the top. Bonnie Wiley Murphy, one hand, tries to get it away. Ciara Dyle tries to get away one hand. A lot of one-handed play here where it's scrappy at the moment. A lot of St. Joseph players lighter with intent out there. Kevin quite happy to let it go. Who's going to come out with this ball? Rachel Minogue is on the knees, not praying. She's not at Sunday Mass. She's here on Saturday evening in Father McNamara Park, and Linda Daly does very well. Gets the ball, and that's Linda's strength, Pat, to get the ball and come away and set up an attack.
Yeah, well, a couple of times there now, we tried to come out with the tackle and giving poor passes and getting turned over. We're passing them, should pass them outside the player who's on the run. We're passing them inside to where the traffic is.
Yeah, Ciara Dye with this free gets the ball down towards Aisling Corbett. Aisling now out in the corner, being beaten by Kate Dillon, who gives it to Schaefer O'Connell. And Schaefer, a dual player, gets a good ball up over the top. But who's inside only Susan Daly. Susan Daly takes away from the tackle of Ciara Duggan. Daly does well, pops the ball down along the line to her sister Jennifer, trying to get away from Schaefer O'Connell. Gets a good ball in, and it's going to be cut out by Chloe Towie. Towie does well, gets the ball, but it comes out to Jennifer Daly again. Jennifer just drives this ball into the corner, looking for Mairead Scanlon. Mairead now at full forward, tries to get down with one hand, and you're not going to go that with a player like Megan O'Brien. A strong player is O'Brien, and I tell you, Pat, it's all about St. Joseph's. They're making bringing the challenge very much to Scariff Ogunlo.
Leo, we're not up to the pace of it, even though we were probably the better strikers, but on the breaking ball we're not decisive enough. We're not.
And that ball from O'Brien goes up, blocked down, good block down by Ciara Dye. Gets the ball out to Aisling McMahon. Get there, Linda Daly is being pulled back, but Daly, that's a great ball from Linda Daly. Gets a good crossfield ball. Scanlon puts up her hand for it. Mairead lets it drop, and it comes to Sinead O'Connor, the cornerback, playing well in the left corner and the right corner, and clears this ball out. Going to be caught by Linda Daly. Player coming behind her, gets away from Aisling McMahon, goes to ground again. Louise Woods, the ball comes into Lorraine O'Grady, and she's beaten, but the ball comes out to Jennifer Daly. But I tell you, St. Joseph's are absolutely working savage out, and the ball comes out to Muirna O'Connell. Elva Rogers does well, but she's robbed by Muirna gets it off to the centre back Chloe Towie, but the ball comes into Leisha O'Donnell. A high pull there, but the ball is more striking by Leisha, gets the ball, but it comes into Muirna. Great block down there by Abby Walsh. Walsh having a very good game. Elon on the Parker for Scariff Ogunlo. It's a line ball going to be taken by Muirna O'Connell right here in front of us. We're gone 24 minutes gone here in this first half, and a sub is Aisling Hennon is coming on for St. Joseph's. Dora Bearfield, we'll see who remains as Grafin. Aisling Hennon, she's going to strengthen that team, Pat.
Yeah, but there again we tried to play the ball through tight spaces and got turned over instead of moving it.
Yeah,
when we move the ball fast inside, we have them on the run.
And it looks like, is it a corner forward? Is it Amy Linehan has been replaced for St. Joseph's, replaced by Aisling Hennon. Hennon will not weaken. We're not going to take this line ball. We're not playing well at wing forward for St. Joseph's. Dora Bearfield goes back, hits it backwards, but Amy Barrett was alive to the situation. Amy Barrett goes through for Scariff Ogunlo. Amy Barrett, a bit of soccer, she played it in her youth, and the ball, unfortunately the ball just broke a bit too far for Amy, and Kate Dillon playing well at cornerback for Chloe Towie this time, drives this one up to the far corner, looking for the number 18. The number 18 is Vanessa Meany, but Bonnie Wiley Murphy, who made her championship debut last week, does well, clears this ball left-handed down long towards Alva Rogers. Alva Rogers comes out in front of her player is Hannah Doyle. As St. Joseph's are grown into this game here, the ball comes out to Aisling Reedy pops the ball in towards Ciara Duggan, gets the ball into Hennon. Is Hennon going to make an immediate impact? Hannah, she gets the ball goes to ground. It's Susan Daly for Scariff Ogunlo. A.B. Walsh trying to get it out there, Leisha Donald trying to get it out. We're 21 metres out. It's very, very scrappy here in Father McNamara, but who comes out? Only Susan Daly puts this ball up into the air, and the ball comes out, going to be picked up by Aisling McMahon, but it goes out to Dillon, sure hands of Dillon, goes to ground, gets out. She dropped the hurley, and I think Kevin even had the whistle in hand. He was waiting to see was it going to happen, and it did happen, but unfortunately for St. Joseph's, good for Scariff Ogunlo, free in, Pat.
Yeah, but Leo, she got out in front of our forwards. She was a yard in front of our marker.
And definitely, Pat, the attitude is completely 100% right with St. Joseph's. They're making a battle of this. They're coming first to the ball. Okay, if they miss it, but they're showing the initiative by coming first to the ball. Yeah. However, it's Scariff.
We have the better strikers.
Yeah, without doubt. And it's 1 goal and 5 to 2 points. 26 minutes gone here in the first half in this broadcast brought to you Association Derek Credit Union and our outside broadcast sponsored by Michael Long Construction. Moraid with this free from 45 metres. That's a top class free, and Pat, have a free taker like that, Pat. When you're not playing at your best and still be able to knock over scores is a good sign.
Good free taker is worth you 8 to 10 points in any match.
And that's normally her average, Pat. Karen McMahon with the puck out for Joseph goes long on this occasion.
Works here now.
Great catch by Leisha O'Donnell now to Linda Daly. That's quick ball. That's more ball in for Aisling Corbett. Puts it on the hand. Here comes Aisling Corbett. A shot. A poor strike from Aisling, but the ball. And I tell you, it trickled past Karen McMahon. It could have very easily gone into the far corner. Aisling showing a clean pair of heels there to Kate Dillon on that occasion. She could have taken it on, Pat.
Leo, she should have turned and gone straight. She went across the 21.
Making the angle.
If she turned them in straight, they'd have to foul her.
And here comes the puck out here coming from Karen McMahon. Definitely the busier two goalies get good linted into it again. Out towards Walsh. Walsh puts up the hurley. Rachel Minogue goes down and leaves her for Linda Daly. Linda Daly puts the ball in towards the corner, in towards Lorraine O'Grady. Lorraine O'Grady finding Sinead O'Connor a tough taskmaster over there. And O'Connor is playing well at cornerback for Joseph. We're very close very tight to the sideline. It's Alva Rogers. Alva Rogers is coming in. Is he going to be pulled for overcarrying? We're right on the sideline, but Rogers is resilient. Gets the ball out to Amy Barrett. Gets a good ball into Scanlon, who's always available for the pass. Murray trying to get away from Kate Dillon, and Murray getting the block down, but who comes out? And it is Dillon or the fullback, Megan O'Brien, a strong character. Jennifer Daly, a foul there on Orla Maloney. St. Joseph's are grown into this game. It might be 1-6 to 2 points, definitely not a 7 points differential, and Pat Scariff are going to have to beware here.
The Joseph's fullback and cornerback are very, very good to come straight out to the ball and work and force it out, whereas we're not beating them physically enough to stop them coming out and to break the ball.
And it's Ciara Gillifoyle who's coming on now for St. Joseph's, and we'll see who's going off for St. Joseph's. Is it Ciara Duggan? Yeah, it looks like Ciara Duggan, the county senior panellist, is being replaced. Cleona McNamara also is on the Scariff Ogunlo team, and Alva Rogers gone corner forward. Yeah, Lorraine O'Grady making way over on the far side. She found Sinead O'Connor a tough taskmaster today. So
physicality,
physicality, and no doubt about it. That's, I suppose, to adapt to the situation. McMahon gets this ball in towards the corner. Bonnie Wiley goes up and it misses on this occasion. It comes out to Hennon. A shot from Aisling Hennon, and that ball, it trickles out to the right hand side and gone wide, and the puck come out here coming for Rachel Daly. We're just 1 minute left here in this first half, and Rachel Daly with the puck coming with the puck out. It's 1 goal and 6 for Scariff Ogunlo, 2 points for St. Joseph's. There'll be many twists and turns in this group of death, as we call it, as of yet, and Daly pucks this ball straight down the middle. Ball blocked down by Chloe Towie and St. Joseph's. Louise Woods coming out now at centre, at midfield, gets the ball away, and Gets the ball out to the wing back. Wing back is Aisling Doyle. Aisling Doyle is blocked, and Cleona McNamara. She got a point last week for Scariff Ogunla, and here she's taking on the defence. A strong player, and here comes Cleona cutting in through the middle. Gets a good ball across towards Aisling Corbett, but the ball is going to be picked out by Aisling McMahon. Aisling McMahon only gets 6. Kevin, I'm not too sure where you could blow the whistle. Even a lot of people leave shaking their heads at that occasion. The chances of a score on. I thought you to wait for the ball to go dead, Pat.
Well, didn't the first time it happened.
Yeah, and indeed, at half time here, it's 1 goal and 6 for Scariff Ogunla. St. Joseph 2 points. Your overall summation, Pat?
We could do it more intensity up front, and we don't have the same intensities we had against the Middlesbrough.
No, it seems that way. Yeah. And now we're joined.
But we are better
players,
better hurlers and better strikers, but the intensity isn't there.
And we're now once again by Brian Enright. Brian, good to talk to you again. 1-6 to 2 points, Brian. Yeah. Is that a fair reflection in your mind?
No, I don't think so on the scoreboard. No, I think Josephs have their full backline in particular have really gone into the game. They seem to have nullified Scariff. Yeah, they have to a degree now. At the same time, she has, as you mentioned during your commentary, she's got a couple of vital frees which have just kept that gap between them. Joseph's probably lacking a bit of a punch above in their half forward line, full forward, but they're full of running. And as I said earlier, they're physical, they're strong, they're not standing back from it. They're here to play and they're here to win it. And Scariff's greater experience might be the difference.
And Brian, the breeze doesn't do anything. There is a slight breeze which is beginning to blow up here, and will be favouring probably St. Joseph's in the second half, and Cam McMahon getting good links into their puck outs. The same intensity doesn't seem to be there, as Pat said, from Scariff Ogunla as was with Kilkishen but like last week. But maybe that's more credit to St. Joseph's.
It is, yeah, it is, absolutely. Scariff would probably like it to be a little bit more free flowing, and it's just not happening because Josephs are being dogged, particularly their backs. They're just grinding into all the tackles, and maybe Scariff don't like it a little bit, but again, as I say, Scariff's touch, they're a little bit more experienced. They know how to get that score a little bit easier than Joseph's do, and that's what's keeping them ahead in this game.
And Brian, I suppose that's a testament to the top teams. Even that you're not playing well, you're still able to grind out. And obviously there's a half an hour or more to go here yet. To grind out a result. And you found it your cost today as well. You had a great win over Kilmaley last week, but the same intensity wasn't in your play today. Exactly, and Kilkishen, but I came with who were rather poor last week in the first game, and came with a savage intensity today.
And that's the nature of the championship, especially a championship that's on a league basis. If you can't rise to it week in, week out, and you have to, it's tough maybe on players to be playing week in, week out. But if you don't rise to the same intensity, you're going to be caught, and we were caught by Kilkishen Badike, and they fully deserved their win. They were hungrier and they were stronger in the tackle and stronger in the air than us, and they grinded out their win.
And Brian, I think that's going to be a big impact in the championship. This on every week.
Yeah. I'm just going to make that point.
Yeah, the teams that are going 3 Saturdays in a row, it's no matter how good you are, it's going to have an impact.
It is, yeah.
And there will be strange results because
I was just going to say, and Brian, like the county players, you heard about this third week syndrome last year when they were playing the hurlers, or 2 years ago before the pandemic when they were playing these league games. The third week went in, and trying to get up for 4 is, if you have a loss, you're under severe pressure trying to push yourself for the week after.
And you don't, you've only got a week, so you pick up a niggle or two or an injury or two, and
which is invariably going to happen.
It's going to happen, and you don't have time for recovery or for rehab. So there is a knock-on effect. It's good in one way, but you don't get maybe to try things out in training as much as you'd like to, because you're just getting ready. Nearly you have to put to bed one game without too much thinking about it to get ready for the next opponent.
And Brian, you're involved in management and you've been involved with county teams a lot of years, and Clare are out of the championship quite a while. I know the Camogie Association have their fixtures set out. Can you tell me, what is the reason, really, do you think, in your mind, why does it delay that everyone has to play their fixtures at the one time, when these could have been played maybe back along, and get your 2-week break in between games?
Absolutely. Clare, unfortunately didn't qualify for a quarter-final, and have been out of the championship, the inter-county championship, for a long time. Limerick won the senior hurling, and within 2 weeks they're playing their club championship inside. So I think it could have started sooner. All right, that would have.
And even for player welfare, Pat, no matter, as I said to Brian, invariably there is going to be injuries accrued here by people, and of course it's business for Brian. Maybe he'll be a busy man in the next month or two, but I know he won't like to see that from the sports point of view. But it is, these are all young players and amateur, and it is a big ask to go week after week.
Well, you see, especially in the group of 5. Yeah, I think they should have made arrangements to have at least one round that they played earlier. to give the break. It's, I mean, in one way this is going to suit Truk and
the other group,
and the teams that come through in the other group. They won't have had to play as often, and they've had the rest period to recover. I mean, if you get any kind of a bang here today, you really can't do anything with that player, only let him recover for the week. And it's only a small thing that affects the touch.
There's no doubt about that. And I suppose, Brian, looking at the other group, Aina Kilnamona, lucky to get over Fecal Killanena last week. We had it put down as a potential banana skin. I suppose, Brian, in everyone's eyes, they are the team to beat.
They are, without a shadow of a doubt. Their physical fitness, their strength, they're a really strong physical team, really experienced, so they can deal with anything. They dealt with the threat of Fecal Killanena last week. They got over the line. I also thought that was a potential banana skin, but they dealt with it, and I think they're going to be a serious threat now as the championship goes on.
Brian, before the teams come back on the field, we're going to take a break here. Call this Scariff Gunlow or St. Joseph's?
Scariff, because of their experience, I think are going to come through this, but St. Joseph's are certainly not
very much in the mix.
Very much so, yeah.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for that. Thanks, Pat. Luke, we'll take a break and back to you for a bit of Kjol.
I think attitude is a problem.
Yeah, indeed, that was a source of yoga. I think Kevin Mustacino's taking the break, or Herdo's taking the break, and decided to get back in action again. It's 1-6 to 2 points. You're welcome back here for the second half of this senior championship round 2 game. As again, I'm joined in co-commentary by former Scariff coach, still current Munster or senior club champions man who had a big part to play in that in Pat Minogue. And teams are as we were at the end of the first half. The game is on and the ball is right in the middle of the field, and as we started, it is a shamazzle. That's a break, and the ball comes out. Abby Walsh, he said he's a tower of trench. He set up the first attack at the beginning of the first half, and here comes Abby Walsh going straight through, pops the ball off for Aisling Corbett. Jennifer Daly. Jennifer overruns it, where it's going to be picked up by Kate Dillon. Kate Dillon is dropped by Amy Barrett, but the ball comes out towards Leisha Donnelly. A high challenge here by Muireann O'Connell. Not intended there, Pat.
No, but had Abby gone the other side with the pass, Amy was straight in.
Yeah, decision making, and
she passed it to where the traffic was. Amy just go to her left, she was straight in.
Yeah, but Abby Walsh having a good game.
Good game. Just experience.
Yeah, that's it about it. Now Amy having a couple of focal cune with Abby, I suppose, just telling her that, look, I'm available there at all times, but here's a lady that's always available for a dead ball of a yellow card there from Muireann O'Connell. I suppose the fact that the hurley was up high, a free from Mairead, 45 metres out, 10 metres in from the far sideline here, from our comfortable position. Scariff playing into the town goal here in Father McNamara Park for the second half. Here comes Mairead. Mairead strikes this one. Go straight over the black spot. 1 goal and 7 for 2 points. That's again, as you said, Pat, in the first half, that's a tremendous asset.
That's a tremendous free, because she was driving into the breeze.
And you could see she had to force it, Pat.
Yeah, she drove. I mean, she didn't lob it. She just drove it straight in and over.
Karen McMahon hitting this puck out, looking for the commentary position. Oh, what a catch by Minogue, the wing back, gets a lovely ball up to Scanlon. Here comes Scanlon, going taking on the cornerback Sinead O'Connor. Scanlon with a shot. Is there going to be taken it? Oh, and I thought Elva was going to flick it in with one hand like she did in the first half again, but the ball tailed out to the left hand side and gone by. The score remains 1 goal and 7 for Scariff Ogonnelloe, 2 points for St. Joseph's, and Karen McMahon, the goalkeeper for St. Joseph's, definitely the busier goalkeeper, goes long with this one, puts it up into the air. Leisha O'Donnell there at wing back, puts up, but the ball comes down. Ciara Doyle lets fly one hand, but the ball doesn't move too far. Doyle goes down over one hand, gets away from the Scariff Ogonnelloe, gone out over the line on the far side, got away from the challenge of Louise Woods, but found the sanctuary of the sideline, and a line ball for St. Joseph's. Again, St. Joseph's putting plenty of people into the tackle. Here's Aisling McMahon, and again, Pat, just as we said, even in our at half time and during the first half, if St. Joseph had taken their chances, this would be a lot closer.
Yeah, well, should have driven that ball.
Yeah, without doubt. And the ball
traffic again.
The ball won there by out towards Orla Maloney. Orla Maloney, the corner forward, taking on, and the ball goes in over the top where Rachel Minogue is back covering, goes down over it. Rachel Minogue back in a corner back position here as the Scariff Ogonnelloe defending but the ball comes out, and here Minogue does very, very well. Pat, you know, a lady you know quite well, adapting well to wing back, Pat.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know, a lady can play in any position. Had a marvellous Munster campaign at wing forward, and oh, what a catch from Rogers. Great free from Minogue up to Rogers. Rogers takes on Kate Dillon. Here comes Elva Rogers coming in. A shot from Elva Rogers. This is a dangerous one. Blocked out by Karen McMahon. O'Brien flicks it away. I tell you, that O'Brien lady, she goes for the safety all the time. When the ball breaks out to Aisling Reedy in the middle of the field, gets the ball out, going to find Linda Daly. Over hits the pass, and it comes out to Sinead O'Connor for St. Joseph's. Going to be challenged by Mairead Scanlon and Cleona McNamara. Gets the ball out. Amy Barrett does well. Gets the ball out to Scanlon. Here comes Scanlon for Scariff Ogonnelloe, breaking through. A shot go over the bar from the stick of Mairead Scanlon. 1-8 to 2 points. Clinical pass, sharp shooting over the bar.
Decisiveness.
That's the word, and that's the word that Pat has used more than once here during his analysis. Incisiveness, and that was incisive from Amy Barrett out to Mairead, and Mairead direct go Haran Drasnan. The puck out goes out to Aisling McMahon. Jennifer Daly tries to get away from Aisling McMahon one-handed. St. Joseph's very strong in the tackle, making it hard for Scariff Ogonnelloe, and the ball comes out to Leisha O'Donnell. Leisha O'Donnell goes off the stick of the St. Joseph lady out, and it's gone off the Scariff Ogonnelloe lady, is seen by the linesman on the far side of the field. 1 goal and 8 to 2 points here. Once again, this broadcast brought to you in association with Derek Credit Union, and our outside broadcast sponsored by Michael Long Construction. Line ball taken by Aisling McMahon. The ball goes in towards Leisha O'Donnell. O'Donnell does well for Scariff Ogonnelloe at wing back. And again, the short game, Pat, I know you're not a fan of it, really, you know, more direct. And Alison McGee gets it out. This lady, Rachel Minogue, she's not going to dig around, drives that one up the field, looking for Elva Rogers. Oh, great catch from Rogers. Puts up her hand. She gets away from Kate Dillon. Here comes Elva Rogers breaking through for Scariff Ogonnelloe. Flicks it with one hand in towards Jennifer Daly, but cut out by Chloe Towie. Amy Barrett trying to get in there to rest the station. Out towards Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh coming in. Gets a pop pass towards Linda Daly, and cut out by Siofran O'Connell again. And Abby Walsh goes back and recovers the situation. Great play by Walsh, showing tremendous leadership for the young player. Out towards Linda. Linda is pulled back by Siofran O'Connell. But again, Pat, a lot of missing, Pat.
Oh, short passes into traffic. I mean, they're running. If you want to get the run going, you get the runner into space. They're running
into traffic.
They're running into traffic. Instead of giving the person who's supposed to receive the pass is running into traffic instead of running into space.
Yeah, and a free for Mairead Scanlon. And was when you have a free tackle like Mairead Scanlon on your side, you know, even you're not playing well, she'll keep the scoreboard ticking over. 5 minutes gone here in the second half. 1-8 for Scariff Ogonnelloe. St. Joseph's 2 points. Make that 1 goal and 9. She's striking them rather well, Pat.
Oh yeah, look, Mairead has done this for
years.
We won't say decades, but years.
You're being kind to her, but Mairead, you know, really showing tremendous form again this year. And the puck out from Karen McMahon. Where is she going to go with this one? Is she going to go put the ball into space? She likes this corner of the field, and this is going to find the sanctuary of the linesman right here in front of her commentary position. Jason passed the ball out to Mairead. I suppose he often does it at the breakfast table. Gets the ball right. Mairead hits the ball up along the line, up towards Cleona Mack. Cleona Mack is beaten there by this number, 17. 17 is Hannah Doyle. Hannah Doyle gets the ball down to corner, but it's going to be Bonnie Wiley Murphy. Bonnie Wiley coming out. Cleona Mack trying to get in, but the ball comes there for Vanessa Meany for St. Joseph's, and once again missing from Scariff Ogonnelloe, not being direct, Pat.
It wasn't Bonnie's fault. 3 of them started calling for a pass, and she was about to strike it, and she changed her mind.
And there's a new style of a free there that Kevin let off, and ironically there could be a goal out of this one. So it's definitely a free out, and here comes a shot and a goal for St. Joseph's. A free miss there by Kevin Walsh, a double hit, and it's now it's 1 goal and 9 to 1 goal and 2, Pat.
Yeah, but look, it was poor defensive play.
Without doubt, there's no one to blame more than himself. Poor defensive play.
Kevin made a mistake, but our backs made a bigger mistake.
But fair play to Vanessa Meany. She was cool. She played it, got away with it. Chancellor Aram got away with it. But there was a team of umpires in that there, and no one intersected. A puck out from Rachel Daly goes out looking for Leisha O'Donnell. What will be the response from Scariff Ogunlo? The response is coming from Kate Dillon. Kate Dillon gets out in front of Elva on this occasion. Dillon is an uncompromising defender and gets the ball down towards Orla Maloney, but it goes out off the stick of looks like Leisha O'Donnell out over the sideline. Line bar for St. Joseph's. Pat, St. Joseph's very much in this game.
Look, we'll see what they're made of now. They have to respond now.
A line ball going to be taken by Aisling McMahon. 7 minutes gone here in this second half, and St. Joseph playing down into the Clooney side or the Quinn side here. Get the ball goes down along the towards Alison McGee and Ciara Gilfile. McGee does well, gets down on the ball. She's been pulled back there by Ciara Gilfile. This hand pass goes astray, and here comes Orla Maloney for St. Joseph's, been beaten there by Ciara Doyle. The centre back goes back into her own full back line. Ciara Doyle trying to break out, clears this ball out towards Leisha O'Donnell. Scariff persistent with this short game even in their own half back line. Linda Daly for Scariff Ogunlo gets out. Here's Linda, goes roll, lifts it on this occasion. She's being pulled back and being fouled, and I suppose that's the nature of what, there's a lot of football tackles going in. There's a free gone from well outside the 45 outside of the hand, and I suppose if the St. Joseph player could try and get away with it here, as some players have an award with Kevin, I tell you, one man you don't have a word with, Pat, is Kevin. And the free going to be taken. What way is he doing? Is he going to throw in the ball? I'd say he'll throw in the ball on this occasion. Danielle Beston coming in for Scariff Ogunlo. Not too sure who's going off on this occasion. Danielle Beston is definitely into the Scariff Ogunlo attack. And it's Aisling Corbett who's gone off, and Cleona Mack is gone in full forward. And I suppose not much ball had gone into the full forward in the second half, but Aisling paying the price and gone off. Pat.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at that one.
We have a lot of young players in now, and if this turns into a battle, have we the physicality to stand up to it?
Yeah, and I see there's a small bit of trouble over there on the far side of the field. I'm not too sure that managements are disagreeing over there on the far side. Kevin is going to have an award with someone. I'm not too sure who he's going to have an award with there. It looks like it's the Scariff Ogunlo manager. He's I suppose on about maybe there's a bit of
paperwork,
a bit of administration work to be done over there in the far side of the field, and we're going to have a water break in about 5 minutes time. But now we've an administration break here. 9 minutes gone here in this second half. It's 1 goal and 9 for Scariff Ogunlo, 1 goal and 2 for St. Joseph's.
I would say the last ball blown defensively, Alison McGee was definitely fouled.
Pulled back twice.
Hurley was in over her neck, and she didn't get it free.
Now we're back with the throw in, and Ciara Doyle with the try to get the ball, gets up the ball and drives that ball, more direct ball up towards Amy Barra, but it's blocked away by Chloe Towie. Chloe Towie has come more into the game, and Pat, I know you'd like to see a small bit more direct here to finish out this game.
Well, I would just like to see the half back line moving the ball faster. Midfield, move it faster. I think we have them inside in the full forward line. If we get the ball fast in, Alva's winning a lot of ball. You can't let Joseph's crowd you. If you do, they're going to cause trouble.
And that ball down from Amy Barrett down to Elva Rogers. Elva Rogers coming to Leslie Prisney being caught for over carrying on that occasion. Kevin a bit strict. Maybe the calls, and someone is after having a Focolella in the close of Kevin Walsh, and he brings the free up the 20, the requisite 20 metres. It's 1 goal and 9 to 1 goal and 2. Breaks beginning to go the way of St. Joseph. Dora Bearfield, and a free going to be taken by Chloe Towie on her own half back line. Hits this ball into the corner down towards Alison McGee and Ciara Gilfile, but that ball is just too strong from Chloe Towie, and a puck out for Rachel Daly. Rachel Daly pucks out this ball looking for Danielle Beston, who wasn't sure what was coming at. Danielle, a young player, in towards Rachel Minogue. Minogue just drives this ball in towards Towie. Towie gets out in front of Amy Barrett. Towie drives this ball down in the corner down towards Aisling Hennon and Susan Daly. Daly the fullback gets this ball out to Rachel just drives it up the field again. Good ball from Rachel Daly. Great ball, great turn from Scanlon. She turns Sinead O'Connor on this occasion. Murray trying to find it hard to get up over it, and the ball comes into Daniel Beston. There's the mixture for Scariff Ogonnellow. It's the young and the not so young, and the ball out. Daniel Beston loses it, got into it, but Beston recovers well, trying to take the challenge. She's wriggling around and pulled back there, Pat. Lucky to get the free throw, Pat, I think.
Yeah, but she showed a bit of attitude, Neil, in trying to win the ball and go.
A bit of drive, Pat, and
that's what we're missing.
Yeah, good play from Beston, young player, one with tremendous potential, and it's 1 goal and 9 to 1 goal and 2. Mairead Scanlon, can she add to the lead here just as we clock ticks on 12 minutes here gone in the second half? Mairead just nonchalantly puts it over the bar, 1 goal and 10 to 1 goal and 2, and Scariff have built up an 8-point lead, but they have recovered from that goal, Pat, and have got the last 2 scores.
Yeah, but you still when we move the ball fast inside, we're getting free, so we're getting scores, and I just like to see it moving that little bit faster.
Bit quicker, and that great puck out from McMahon. Minogue goes up high, playing well at wing back, out towards Aisling Walsh. Aisling Walsh is dropped by the other Aisling, it's Aisling Reedy. Schaefer and O'Connell goes out towards the line, kept in play. Great play by Abby Walsh. Again, the young players showing the leadership for Scariff Ogonnellow. Abby Walsh out to Scanlon. Scanlon does well, wins her ball above and corner forward. Goes a lovely pop passing towards Amy Barrett. Amy Barrett is beaten by Sinead O'Connor. This lady has been a tower of strength, but Barrett does well and wins the ball. No support there for Amy Barrett on this occasion. Fighting a lone battle there, and comes out to Towie. Towie, the centre back. Towie is going around, and I tell you, she could have been, if ever anyone was pulled for over carrying, that could have been the one. The ball is blocked by Abby Walsh in the middle of the field. Aisling Reedy for St. Joseph's Dora Bearfield here in a wing back position, and Scariff have bodies in on this occasion. 13 minutes gone, 1-10 to 1 goal and 2. Murray just picks it up. Murray Scanlon, the flick over the head. That's a great ball from Scanlon into Barrett. Barrett going to shoot off her left hand side. That's a tremendous shot from Barrett, but unfortunately there's a tail in it. Not the required drive from Amy Barrett, but good play from Scanlon to keep the play going. 1 goal and 10 to 1 goal and 2. That's 8 points. McMahon goes long on this occasion, going to find, looks like he's at Leash O'Donnell for Scariff Ogonnellow. Gets a lovely low ball up to her wing forward is Jennifer Daly quite here in the second half, but pops this ball in towards Cleona Mack and Megan O'Brien. Cleona Mack does well, gets out. The shooting will be starting in Dublin. O'Brien does well, gets the ball out to Elva Rogers. Elva Rogers is going to be challenged there by Aisling McMahon. St. Joseph once again getting bodies into the tackle, and once again, Pat, hand passes and that going astray.
When the ball goes to ground, Joseph's are very, very good at getting bodies in and to stop the free-flowing game that we want to play, and we're just getting turned over. A lot of young players getting turned over in those rucks. Yeah, and indeed, and the conditions absolutely ideal here in Father McNamara Park. Not too sure what Kevin has held up for on this occasion. Looks like Linda Daly is going off for some particular reason, is to get a drink or something. Not too sure what is the prognosis over there. Is it Danielle Cheedy, or there's someone warming up over there for Scariff? We're not too sure what's happening. No, everything is back in order again. Just coming up towards 14 minutes gone here in this second half. Elva trying to pick it up. Somebody's gone to ground. There's more bodies gone to ground. This Chloe Towie. Amy Barrett, the centre forward, does well. Amy coming in off her left hand side. A shot from Amy Barrett. She might have missed the last one, but she doesn't miss this one. 1-11 to 1 goal and 2. Good play from Barrett, Pat. Yeah, she had the physique and the strength to win the ball on the ground and just drive it.
And with that, the water break has been called even a bit before time, but 1-11 to 1 goal and 2. And I suppose, Pat, it is really about Scariff going at this stage whether they can see it out.
Well, look, if they lose it from here, they don't deserve to be in the championship.
No, but at the end of the day,
I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean, you're 9 points up. Look, if you can't drive on now.
Yeah, exactly. We're once again joined by Brian Enright. Brian, your thoughts on that third quarter?
Yeah.
It is normally they call it, it is the new term, the moving quarter.
Yeah, I don't know, it's the third quarter of the start of the second half, but definitely Scariff came out and they upped the intensity at the beginning and notched on a couple of points and increased the gap again. But
a fortuitous goal for St. Joseph's.
Absolutely. I mean, it was fortuitous to be one way of describing it. I don't think I think it was a fouled free. But Joseph played it, and they played it well and took it well and closed the gap again. They're Scariff are just doing enough, without turning on the style. They're tipping away at Amy Barrett has finished that half very strong. Scanlon has got a couple of points, so they're doing enough. They've definitely upped the intensity a bit, and that'll be enough, I think, to see them out.
But credit St. Joseph, Brian. They're still, they're still, going into the tackles. They're putting bodies into the rucks. Obviously, they're not getting the ball up enough for scoring chances.
Yeah, they are. They're putting 2 and 3 into the tackle. They're really going for it, and they're lacking, as I said earlier, they're lacking probably a bit of punch up in the forwards. But they're just staying with them and going into every tackle like their lives depended on it, which is a great sign of a team. We played them in last year's championship, and so something similar, as you'd say, like there's no end to them. They keep going. They're not going away, and they're lacking a bit of firing power above. And it's possibly Scariff will win this game now. I think they have an 8-9 point lead, so they should see this out now.
Yeah, indeed, Brian, thanks for that. We talked again at the final whistle. We're going to restart with a puck out from Karen McMahon. As I said, the busy of the two goalies. She's already been beaten on the one occasion from that flick from the eagle-eyed Elva Rogers, who put the ball into net. Mairead Scanlon now gone back into the far corner. Elva Rogers gone back into the corner, and here comes Karen going to start our fourth and final quarter here in Father McNamara Park. It's 1 goal and 11 to 1 goal and 2, and here comes Karen. Is there going to be changes on the St. Joseph's team? As Anne Marie again making shapes over there on the far side? Is there a player down? There seems to be a player down injured, or is she just getting physio? No, and she comes back on again, and we restart with Karen McMahon. Goes out, Minogue, get the ball, goes over her head on this occasion, down towards Orla Maloney and Bonnie Wiley Murphy. Bonnie Wiley Murphy playing well at cornerback for Scariff Ogunlo, getting the ball. We're very close to the sideline here. And a push on the back by Bonnie Wiley, and a free in for St. Joseph's, and going to be taken by, is it Orla Maloney? She's waiting for Aisling McMahon to make her way across. Not too sure what was in that one, Pat.
I don't know, there was a whole heap of people.
There was 6-1, half dozen the other. Kevin having a board with Ciara Doyle there at centre back, maybe asking him for an explanation as to the free, but Aisling McMahon,
he could let the game go and pay no heed to those sort of things. It's
been a bit fussy now, and the sun in the eyes of Rachel Daly, and McMahon could drop this one in around the danger area. That's quite a dangerous ball. Goes in around the 21. It's going to be blocked inside, where it's cut out by Ciara Doyle. Ciara Doyle flicks the ball out to Rachel Minogue, and Rachel Minogue relieves the danger with a massive clearance up the far side towards Mairead Scanlon. The ball out, says good ball out towards Scanlon and Kate Dillon. Scanlon trying to get the ball up one-handed. Here she comes in for Scariff Ogunlo. Here comes Mairead breaking down on the 21. She cuts in inside. She's been pushed, kind of thought to be pushed in the back there by Chloe Towie. Amy Barrett out to help to rest the situation. Amy Barrett playing well as centre forward. Flicks the ball across to Daniel Beston. Great catch from Beston. A shot, unfortunately, the finish didn't match the set-up play. And maybe that's just a little bit of the play that Daniel has to work on, but showed good attitude, Pat. The puck out, and has restarted out from Karen McMahon out to Rachel Minogue. Rachel Minogue puts it back in towards the danger area. Cleona Mack goes up, and the ball is going to come down towards Amy Barrett. Amy Barrett, soccer style, trying to get the ball into Elva Rogers, but the ball is going to come out at wing forward to Danielle Beston. Danielle won't be put off by the last chance. She's working hard, but the ball is going to be robbed by Muireann O'Connell. Rachel Minogue gets in there to help the situation. Minogue playing well at wing back, goes up into a place where she knows quite well at wing forward, and she follows up this ball. She's following Sinead O'Connor into the corner. A dangerous ball across towards Megan O'Brien. Megan O'Brien finds the ball out to Towie at centre back, gets away from the challenge of Amy Barrett, clears this ball down the field where it's going to fall into the hands of Ciara Doyle for Scariff Ogunlo, drives this ball back up into the corner again, but only finds the situation for the St. Joseph there. Maybe it would have been better advice to switch the play, but the ball comes out to Sinead O'Connor. She's a tough nut to crack, Pat.
I don't know what he's given frees from. I mean, if a player runs into you, how do you get out of the way?
Yeah, and he's going to have a word with Amy now and bring the free up, the required the extra 20 metres, and I suppose they're incurring the wrath of Kevin Walsh, and Kevin maybe not moving with the fluency in a free. Chloe Towie, she drives the ball into the corner. Not too sure. I thought was that Chloe was fouled. He's going to throw in the ball. She wasn't the player that was fouled, I think, initially, but took the ball out of her hand. She's even looking for an explanation. It's a funny kind of rule, Pat, and one that needs to be clarified.
But look, at the players don't know what he's pulling from. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he's going to give him the free again. We're not too sure what he's going to do.
I think he's giving a throw in.
No, he's giving it again. Why blow the she hit it out of her hand. But look, I don't know. It seems to be a one-way traffic at this stage, to be honest about it. Towie drives it. She switches it across to the far side of the field, looking for Aisling Hennon, and the ball is going to be won by Leisha. That's a blatant pushing it back on Leisha O'Donnell, and maybe that's one of the first real clear-cut frees, and it's going to be free for Scariff Ogunlo. Ciara Doyle, the centre back, going out to take this one. It's 1 goal and 11 to 1 goal and 2. Another sub coming on for St. Joseph's, Dora Bearfield. And it looks like Muireann O'Connell days is run. She's run herself into the ground for St. Joseph's, and the sub making her way over here towards it looks like, is it Ellen Dial coming on for St. Joseph's. Dora Bearfield going to be picked up by Rachel Minogue having a very good second half here for Scariff Ogunlow. Ciara Dial going to take in this free as a bit bunched maybe in the half forward line, but what's Ciara Dial going to do with this one? She look for Mairead Scanlon, hits the ball up into the corner, up towards Jennifer Daly at wing forward, drops the ball. Jennifer gone to ground. A lot of ladies saying prayers on the ground, and not too sure the ground isn't sleepy, Pat, but a lot of players find losing their feet.
Jennifer hasn't got going today.
And here's the ball into Towie at centre back. Towie is pulled back by Daniel Beston, and St. Joseph's. Credit St. Joseph's not giving up. 21 minutes gone here, or 20 minutes gone. 1-11 to 1 goal and 2. Will this ball land down on the square or on the 21? The sun in the eyes of Rachel Daly. Towie, she goes direct on this occasion. The ball is in, but it's caught inside, dropped by Ciara Dial on this occasion. But out comes Leisha O'Donnell. O'Donnell does well. Gets the ball out to Linda Daly. Linda Daly is met by Louise Woods, and the ball cleared away by Linda Daly up towards Scanlon. But out comes Kate Dillon. Kate Dillon, maybe not the fastest player, but I tell you, she's out in front as much as she can. Great play, but great catch by Daly. She takes on the challenge there of Ciara Whelan. Gets the ball into Amy Barrett. Ashling McMahon, they are trying to take on the challenge with Amy Barrett. We're right over on the far sideline. 1-11 to 1 goal and 2. The ball, who's going to come out with this one? And once again it's St. Joseph's who come out of the traffic, and it is the wing forward. The wing forward is Ciara Whelan who's been to it. And credit St. Joseph's, Bet. They're sticking to their game plan, and they're going to fight this to the bitter end.
Look at Leo, we had 2-1 there on the breaking ball, and the touch was terrible. Went to rise it 3 times and didn't get it up, and then they got everybody in, and they won the ruck.
Yeah, and a free. Now this one can be in around the danger area. Ashling McMahon, this should land. The sun once again in the eyes of the Scariff defence and the Scariff goalkeeper. McMahon, she goes short on this occasion, looking for Ashling Hennon. Hennon going to be chased out by Susan Daly. Is she going to be robbed by Susan Daly? Daly gets in the hand and tips that ball away, and Susan Daly for Scariff Ogunlow out from her full back position. She's caught head high there by the Ashling Hennon. Good play by Susan Daly, playing very well at the heart of defence, Pat.
Look, she has been a mainstay back there. They haven't really threatened. The goal wasn't her fault, but I mean, the amount of ball she's come out with, and there was 2 Joseph's players there, and she still won the ball.
Yeah, and Ashling Hennon in Cornderata, Kevin. This will be a carte de buis for Ashling Hennon. Ashling Hennon, a member of the great sporting family out there in Rosslevin. They're given great. Their father Declan was a proud Clonera man, but his family have thrown in a lot with St. Joseph's. Siofra O'Connell now gone back in centre forward in a switch with Siofra O'Connell going in full forward, it seems, for St. Joseph's. Dora Bearfield. Ashling Hennon looks like she's gone back as an extra player in the backs. It's going to be free for Scariff Ogunlow. Russ over on the 21 on the far side of the field here from our commentary position. We must say hello to Eva Quigley and Claire Dial, who are having a 21st there in Scariff tonight. So about a Waika combination, double 21st on there. Also happy birthday to Ciara Dial, the Scariff Ogunlow centre back today. Her birthday on today also. The ball comes out to Elva Rogers, out to Daniel Beston, but it's Towie, the centre back. Towie being pulled back there by Abby Walsh. A hit high tackle, and Pat, overall a scrappy game, Pat.
Very scrappy now. It's gone very scrappy.
And I suppose we were expecting a big challenge from St. Joseph's, no doubt, but they're giving it their all, Pat.
It looks like Joseph's have gone with a sweeper at the back at this stage. I think Ciara seems to be free a good bit.
And the ball goes out towards, going to come out towards Rachel Minogue for Scariff Ogunlow. Here comes Rachel coming out using the hand pass over Kegwet, got away out towards Louise Woods. Woods got a goal from similar position earlier on, but the ball comes back out to the number 25. The number 25 is Shauna Maloney. Maloney gone out to the far side of the field. She's been chased there by Ciara Dial right over on the far side of the field. Who's going to come out with this one? But the ball comes to Louise Woods. Alison McGee in there. Here comes who comes going to come out with it? Is it Abby Walsh? And indeed it is. Abby Walsh comes out, and once again given for the foul hand pass. I thought maybe on that occasion there was a clear strike, but look, Kevin was closer to the action than we were, and he has given the free in. That's the second or third time that Abby has been caught for the foul hand pass.
But you know something? The way it has been reffed is a throwback to the Camogie rules of 5 years ago. It's free, non-stop.
Yeah,
free,
exactly.
Free. I mean, if you look at that on final, there's no comparison to the way this match has been refereed.
No, and everything was let go.
And even with the match with Noel Quinn last week, there's no comparison. It stops start the whole time. It's very hard to get free flowing camogie going.
Yes, exactly. But there's no doubt. It's 111 to 1-2. Can Aisling narrow the deficit here? And indeed, there is a tailnet goes out to the left-hand side and gone wide. The score remains 111 for Scariff O'Gunlow, 1 goal and 2 for St. Joseph's. 24 minutes gone here in the second half, and Rachel Daly with the puck out coming here for Scariff O'Gunlow. What can St. Joseph do to arrest this slide and keep their hopes alive in this first round championship game? Of course, all is not lost. They'll be playing. The puck out goes over the far side looking for Jennifer Daly. Jennifer puts up her hand, and St. Joseph's gone back with a sweeper. Jennifer Daly hits the ball down the corner towards Elva Rogers. What a catch from Rogers. Elva Rogers taking on the St. Joseph's defence. Here comes Elva Rogers. Here she comes, gets the ball off to Linda Daly. Linda Daly overruns the ball. Linda tries to get up one hand and then goes to ground. Linda being challenged by Aisling Reedy. Here comes Linda Daly, and she's going to be robbed by the ball. Well, here comes Daniel Beston in. Here comes Daniel, direct running from Daniel Beston. A shot from Daniel Beston. He deserves a score. Unfortunately, it goes out to the left hand side and gone wide. The score remains 1 goal and 11 to 1 goal and 2. We're gone 26 minutes gone here in this second half, and the ball comes down, going to be won by Rachel Minogue. Rachel Minogue gets through the tackle. She's been fouled, but Rachel Minogue is a strong player.
She played it.
Kevin. I don't know what's gone. Kevin. She was pulled back, and Rachel was trying to break the tackle. She was caught by the hand, and free for St. Joseph's. Rachel now have to get back in and do her defensive duties, and Chloe Towie here, the St. Joseph's centre back. We're gone 26 minutes gone. Towie drives this ball down towards the corner, looking for Schaefer and O'Connell. Schaefer and O'Connell gets out ahead of Susan Daly on this occasion. Here comes Schaefer cutting in. That's a dangerous ball going in on top of Rachel Daly. A shot, it's gone the whole way to the net. A goal from the stick of Schaefer and O'Connell, the sun in the eyes of Rachel Daly. That narrows the deficit. There's 1 goal and 11 to 2 goals and 2. And Pat, you could say both St. Joseph's goals come from rather fortuitous frees.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a free, to be quite honest.
Well, what was a free or not? He pulled her for tender. He said she overplayed it, but she tapped it in the hurry back to the hands. Look, we've got to respond here.
Yeah, indeed. And the ball comes out, and here comes Chloe Towie. Scariff going to look guilty of just sitting back and letting this game out, but you're not going to get away the ball. Does it make the century the sideline? Indeed, it goes back for Bonnie Murphy. Bonnie Murphy here, right in a wing back position. Rachel Minogue trying to pick up the ball. It's 1 goal and 11 to 2 goals and 2. That's 14 points 8. It's a 6-point game, and the ball. Minogue does well for Scariff O'Gunlow and drives this ball up the field. We need a response, and Amy Barrett gets on this ball for Scariff O'Gunlow. Here she comes up here in a wing forward position. Here comes Amy Barrett. Amy Barrett, this great ball across from Amy Barrett. Is this one for Elva to catch? He goes over her head out towards the far corner, in the right corner of our position. Scariff attack the goals here. Jennifer Daly is after pulling the hammer, and here comes Elva Rogers. Elva Rogers could have been pulled for over carrying. She gets the ball back towards Amy Barrett. Amy Barrett shoots off her right hand side, and indeed, tipped over the bar by Karen McMahon. 1 goal and 12 to 2 goal and 2. But you could see Jennifer Daly, and this game's coming very thick and fast. It looks like it's the hammer, Pat.
The hamstring, yeah, she pulled up running, so there's a thigh muscle or something gone.
Yeah, and indeed, and Kevin doesn't even bother even checking to the whereabouts of Jennifer Daly. You know, I thought you had to check the players, but it's Linda Daly who has the ball out in the middle of the field. Gets the ball down to Rogers. Rogers having a great second half also. Cutting in here for Scariff O'Gunlow. Gets away, leads the defence. A shot from Elva Rogers. And indeed, that's the response you wanted. 1 goal and 13 to 2 goals and 2. Pat, a player, a young player, but shown tremendous leadership.
Yeah, but you see the run Amy made. Amy ran away and
took away the player.
Karen
McMahon with that puck out for St. Joseph. It's right out in the middle of the field. Brought down by Abby Walsh. Out to Amy Barrett. Here comes Amy. Gets the ball in towards the corner. Into no one in particular. Is this ball going to stay in play? Mairead Scanlon and Sinead O'Connor going in towards the corner for this one. O'Connor trying to come out with the ball. Clears this ball up into the air and comes out. It's going to come out towards Abby Walsh in the middle of the field. Abby Walsh, a very busy player. He gets the ball in towards Linda Daly. The pass goes over her head on this occasion, but it's Beston who's in for Scariff O'Gunlow. Cleona Mack trying to get up for Scariff O'Gunlow. Cleona has made a big significant difference into within and edge of the square. Ball comes out to Danielle. Danielle trying to get it out. Elva trying to get it out. Amy Barrett trying to get it out. Amy going back towards her own goal mouth. Amy back out in the half forward line now. Gets the ball, pops this ball in towards the corner, into no one in particular, and it's going to be inside there. It looks like, is it Aisling Hennon? It's 113 to 2-2. We're just coming up onto hitting into injury time here in Father McNamara Park. Aisling Hennon gets the ball up, blocked down by Linda Daly. Here's Linda Daly going through for Scariff O'Gunlow. A shot from Linda Daly, going to be blocked inside by Karen McMahon, and Karen lets fly, going to break out towards Danielle Beston. Can Danielle get a score for her trouble? Danielle tries to get away from a shot from Danielle Beston, goes out to the right hand side and gone wide. Joe Kelly waves it wide, right decision. We're at the discretion of the referee, Kevin Walsh, at this occasion. 1 goal and 13. That's 16 points to 2 goals and 2. That's 8 double scores here in Father McNamara Park. And a sub coming on, indeed, is Ashton Corbett. He's coming back on to the field of play, and it doesn't look good for Jennifer Daly, Pat on the far side, walking rather gingerly back down along the sideline.
It looks like the tie from here. It's not the hamstring, I'd say. It looks like the front of the tie.
So a quad looks at this quad muscle, I suppose. A sub coming on for St. Joseph's, and looks like is it Orla Maloney. His race has run, and on comes Evian Fury for St. Joseph. The ball goes out towards Beston, or Ciara Doyle, the centre back, tries to get a high tackle there by Ciara Whelan, but gets away with it out towards Abby Walsh. I tell you, there is some real kind of football style tackles. Alva Rogers, Alva gives it to Amy Barrett. Amy Barrett cutting through like butter. Amy Barrett, can she finish with a score? Indeed, that's a tremendous score from the stick of Amy Barrett. 1 goal and 14 to 2 goal and 2. Pat, the word you were saying first, incisive, exactly. Yeah. The ball is pucked out from Karen McMahon, out here towards Rachel Minogue and Ashton Brewery. Daniel Beston, Rachel is practically sitting on the ball here, right out here on the sideline. We're at the discretion of Kevin Walsh, and there's no doubt it's Scariff O'Gunlow who are going to take the 2 points and top the group tonight here with 4 points, 2 from 2. Newmarket will have 1. Kilkishan Bright will have 2 points, and Kilmaley yet to get on the board, but they've only one game played. The ball is with Amy Barrett and Rachel Minogue. Minogue is a strong player, does well, gets that ball up towards Ashton Corbett. Corbett puts up the hand, but the ball doesn't come. It comes to Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor for St. Joseph's. Dora Barefoot gets that ball out here towards Ciara Whelan. Alva Rogers gets the ball back to Ciara Doyle. Ciara Doyle puts that ball back in towards the corner, in towards Ashton Corbett and Cleona Mack. Can Scariff O'Gunlow finish with a score? It's Ashton Corbett and Cleona Mack on the far side. Mack does well, and here comes Mack breaking through for Scariff O'Gunlow. Here comes Cleona, a shot from Cleona, blocked by Karen McMahon, the goalie, and the ball comes back out towards Bob Corbett. A shot from Ashton Corbett, it's gone out to the left hand side and gone wide, and the score remains 1 goal and 14 for Scariff O'Gunlow, 2 for St. Joseph Dora Barefoot. The puck goes out towards Ashton Greeley. Bonnie Wiley Murphy for Scariff O'Gunlow. Lovely measured ball in towards Mairead Scanlon at wing forward, trying to take on the St. Joseph defence. Is she going to open up the play? Gets a lovely measured cross into Linda Daly. Out through from midfield. A shot from Linda Daly. That's the trademark score from Linda Daly. 1 goal and 15 to 2 goals and 2. And that's better play from Scariff O'Gunlow, Pat. Open up the play, Pat.
It's all about moving the ball fast.
And I think Kevin is about to blow the whistle here in Father McNamara Park. Indeed he is. And there goes the 2 points to the Collini or Scariff O'Gunlow. 1 goal and 15 for Scariff O'Gunlow, 2 goals and 2 for St. Joseph's. I suppose at the end of the day, Pat, the object of the exercise was to get the 2 points. They've got the 2 points and plenty to work on.
A lot to work on, but if, just for discussion's sake, if the group came down to points difference, they might regret today.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and I would imagine there'll be lots of twists and turns in this group yet. And
I don't think Brian Enright will be too worried there.
No, and we're going to get a final comment from Brian before he departs to reignite the Newmarket challenge, which, you know, they're a resolute, resilient group in Newmarket, and they don't go down easy, as has been well proved in the past. And down today, Brian, down today, Brian, but definitely not out. Brian, your overall summation of that game.
I think Scariff there in that last quarter just had the legs and had the experience to see it out. I think Amy Barrett came to the fore, Alva Rogers came to the fore as well, and they got the few points that just saw them over the line. But they were, I suppose, not by far, they were the better team, but Joseph's will be proud of their performance too. But I think Scariff just had a little bit more experience for them on the day.
And I suppose, Brian, overall maybe better hurlers on the Scariff O'Gunlow side. You know, St. Joseph's, look, they done what they do best. They make it as much of a battle as they can. Obviously, you know, the quality of player, he just isn't there at the moment. Yeah. But you have to give them credit for fighting out to the very end.
Absolutely, and they did. In fairness to them, and they tried things to mix it up and tactically mix it up a bit to see if they could crack Scariff, but it just wasn't enough. And, you know, Scariff just held firm and did what they had to do to see the game out.
Yeah, and indeed, Brian, you'll be coming up personal and closer with Scariff later on. And look, we wish you the very best luck in the rest of the group. Brian, thanks for your help today. Now we're now joined by David Sullivan, the Banish Door of Scariff O'Gunlow. David, again, first of all, congratulations on the victory. It's a victory, you know, and as we said in our analysis, victory, lot to do, and, you know, plenty to work on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be overly mad about what we did today, now, to be honest with you. I have to give credit to them as well. They were very good. They were very dogged. I didn't think there were going to be anything else really, but I don't think we were in any real danger of losing the game. But just standards we have set was a bit below today, and so a little bit disappointed in that regard. But I thought second half we were much better than the first half. We seemed to get the grips of what they were trying to do a little bit better in the second half than the first half. But it was pleasing, but a lot to work on, as I said.
Yeah, and I suppose, David, at the end of the day, look, the object exercise today was to come and get the 2 points, which you done. Obviously, you would like to put on a performance. It doesn't always happen every day. Coming on the back last week where you played quite well against Kilkishen, but St. Joseph's were dogged. They made it a battle, and they thrown a lot of people into the rucks, and it was all about maybe stopping your free-flowing style, which they done to some effect. But at the end of the day, experience and craft got you over the line.
Yeah, I think the know-how of our players. I thought Amy Barrett was exceptional in the second half. Threw over some fantastic scores, and I don't think there was a better player on the pitch today than Alva Rogers. I thought she was exceptional, going up catching high balls in the air and stuff like that. But we saw it out alright. But this championship is not going to be a case if you turn up every week and you win the games you're supposed to win. I was here earlier today, and I think Kilkishen beat Newmarket and Fergus after Newmarket having a great win last week over Kilmaley, and we were kind of poor then against our Kilkishen were poor against those last week. But next week is a different story. I know we're playing Newmarket and they'll be mad to bounce back, but maybe this is the best preparation for ourselves as well, that we've a lot to prove to ourselves next week going into that game, And
there's also, David, I know, as you said, you didn't hit the standards you want to hit. You got the object, you got over the line. The players will know themselves. They're around long enough now to know, then you'll be drumming it into them that, look, at a performance like this next week will just not be good enough.
No, and to be honest with you, Newmarket will be fighting for their lives next week, so it was going to be a hard game regardless anyway, but the fact they lost today, they're going to really have to up their game next week, and I don't think anything we did today now would be good enough to stand the test of time next week against Newmarket. But these are the challenges in sport, we'll have to just regroup during the week, get together, get everyone back, get the heads clear, but that's not really us today. But we just got over the line, and that's what we can do on any given day. Is you're here to win games, you win the game and you move on, and that's what we did today.
And finally, David, the injury scene, we see Jennifer Daly walking off gingerly there towards the end of the game. Can you tell us more, or is it a bit early to tell at this stage?
I know Jennifer will be fine, and Susan Vaughan will be back next week, and we'll be all systems go. We'll be all systems go for next week, and we know Newmarket will be there with us until the 63rd or 4th minute, but we'll be there with them for the 65th and 66th minute, and we're really looking forward to it.
David, thanks very, very much. 2 out of 2. You can be quite happy with results, and 4 points on whatever the points works on the board. A clean sheet so far. Look, the very best luck in the rest of the championship, and as always, thanks for giving the time to us here on Scariff Bay Community Radio.
No bother, lads. Thanks for the coverage. Thank you.
And with that, we're going to take our leave here from Father McNamara Park here in Dora Bearfield in Dora on a scoreline of Scariff Gunlow 1 goal and 15, St. Joseph Dora Bearfield 2 goals and 2. It's Scariff Gunlow who march on into their game next week with full points, and what a battle, a repeat of last year's county semi-final where Newmarket got over the line. Newmarket turned over by Kilkishen Barike earlier on today. My thanks as always to my new men today on analysis, Pat Minogue, I done quite well, and also the inputs from the Newmarket and Fergus manager Brian Wainwright. Always very good to talk to us here on Scariff Bay Community Radio. We thank our sponsors, Derek Credit Union, and our outside broadcast was sponsored here by Michael Long Construction. My thanks to the men in the control tower in Jim Collins, and for once in a while we've had Luke Freeman with us here today. Luke goes missing quite a lot, but good to have him on sound duties as well today. And thanks to Pat and to Ollie Noon, who were here earlier on today for the Kilkishen Barike Newmarket and Fergus game. We hope you enjoyed our live broadcast here from Father McNamara Park. In the first game it was a win for Kilkishen Barike, and in the second game here it's a win for Scariff Gunlow. So all victories on this weekend go to East Clare. So all that remains is Emilio Doyle here live from Father McNamara Park. Until we meet again, it's Bannock Day, August Lawn.